The last time I did a live stream was a couple nights ago, and that was the one where Holly came in and talked to me from Wolf Paranormal. Whoops. This table is really, really unstable. Hang on a minute. Sometimes I can hold it for 9 seconds. Sometimes, if I get a good in breath, I can hold it for as long as like 13 to 21 seconds, not minutes. No, I'm not. I wouldn't be able to hold it that long. I'd start coughing and hacking if I didn't pass out. I thought I had this with me today, but apparently I didn't. I don't know why that live stream cut off after only an hour, because when I was on here the other night, when I was talking to Holly, the live stream was 5 hours long. No joke. So the fact that it just cut off after an hour, I don't know why it did that. And I hate it when it does. But if it's a matter of, like it said, it could have been the connection, but I don't like when my live streams just cut off like that. I can't afford to do the YouTube premium right now because the extra money just isn't there. Because of all the money that I have going out, I'm lucky if I have, $40 in my wallet most days, and that don't last very long. I try to hold on to it as long as I possibly can, but unless by some miracle only the goddess and God can help pull off, and all my spirit family and friends, I get 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 likes, or whatever. I could, if I reach that 1,000 mark, then I would be able to start getting monetary donations. And I know that you can't get rich on YouTube. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just happy for every extra little dime, dollar, nickel, penny, and whatever I can get. Because some of it I would like to be able to put in my savings account to kind of build that up. Because when we move, there's obviously going to be expenses. The place that we're moving to, we're going to have to research, or I'll have to research and make sure that there is a PNC bank where they are, where we move. Because if there isn't, then I'm going to have to do another bank. I'm going to have to choose another bank. I'm just going to have to see what's in town. Once we get wherever it is we're going to end up moving. But the idea is, and me and Chris both agree, we have been in the city our entire lives. We're sick of it. We want to live in the country where it's more laid back. Neighbors are nicer. Neighbors are far enough away that even Chris could be happy. I am the socialite in our family. As far as me and Chris goes, he's not. I mean, he can convince a crap ton of people that, oh yeah, I'm blah blah blah, this, that, or the other, I'm great, and come off really upbeat, and but it's really an act, because he's just been doing it for so long. He's convincing, and it's like, it's part of how he's wired, I guess, and I think a lot of it is the not so loving home situation, that, the way he was brought up, made to believe that he was a worthless POS and couldn't do anything right. I can't tell you what POS is. You'll have to figure it out, because I really am trying to cut down on the cussing on here, because I don't want to get kicked off. Now I'm getting bit on my leg, back of my leg. But anyway, what I was starting to say is, here in a little bit, I'm going to read the house rules. Because if you are a new spirit and you're coming to dwell in my home, you must follow these rules. And if you're a dark spirit, be forewarned, you will not be allowed here. You will not be allowed to stay. You will be eaten. One of my witch balls will suck you in and turn that negative, nasty energy into something lovey and fluffy and bunny, and it'll turn it into something good. It'll turn it into a positive energy. And the capture stones, same thing. If they're unbounds and they're not ancestors, which I have tried my very best to warn them, if you come here, you better let me know that it's you, and you better be prepared to prove that it's you, because if you aren't my family, then you will be eaten. You will be captured in one of the capture stones. And I haven't cleansed them in a long time, so I need to, though. I need to cleanse them just for that extra, cleanse bit. And so I've seen The Flash twice. I don't know about you guys. When I go back and watch this through and watch the other first part through, first it appeared right here, and it was almost like it went doo-doo, like in and out. Here I am. Here I'm not. Oops. Now I'm knocking the lamp down here. But it was just like a spirit. Come on. Okay, now I don't want to sit on the light. Stop it. And then the next time I saw it, I don't know if it went from this direction to that direction, or if it went from that direction to that direction, but it was like this white, and it was just like boom, like that quick. Because I thought, okay, well, did one of the cats walk by or something? But no, I would have seen them. This was white. So if that's a spirit that's wanting acknowledgement, you're getting it, but you better be a good spirit. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I say that because before we left the park, as we were getting ready to walk up the steps, I said, any spirits here that wish to follow us home, the only way you will be permitted to follow us home is if you're a good spirit. Because if you're not, then you need to stay here. You got to stay here. You don't have permission to follow us home, because we don't know what kind of spirit you are. We don't know your intention. And I'm warning you now, just like I did a few minutes ago. If you're an unbound spirit, I don't know you. You're new. You're not from Creepy Hollows. You're not one of my long lost ancestors I didn't even know I had. You're not a past person that I knew or whatever, then you will be eaten. So just be warned. The house rules, I really need to write these down in a notebook, because it would be so much easier to actually, I'm going to do that now. It's going to take me a few minutes. Okay. If there is some spirits that wish to manifest, the perfect time to do that, where you will not upset me, you will not be considered a distraction, is do it while I'm over there writing the house rules in my notebook, so then I can bring it back here and I can read it to you on screen. So if you're going to dwell here, you have to follow these rules, because these rules were originally designed by Creepy Hollows for the dark art spirits that dwell in my home. And I do have quite a few. For a perfect example, I mean, he's not dark. Here, come here, Haldor. This is the little stand that I put him on. This is Haldor. It is I think it's like a calcite crystal or something like that. It's yellow. And this is my Bigfoot. Now, before you laugh, Bigfoot, yeah, right. Bigfoot's like many creatures, just because a lot of us, bless our hearts, have not been able to get photographical proof that could not be fixed, that can be proven to be genuine, not fixed, doesn't mean that they don't die. And therefore, when they become spirits, because they have passed from the earth realm, because see, when you pass from the earth realm, you go into the spirit realm. Now, the way I understand the astral realm is you're still living and you can traverse the astral realm. But at the same time, the astral realm and the spirit realm are kind of hand in hand. Because even though people, places, and things will seem solid, doesn't necessarily mean that they are. Okay. So let me hit my pagan mix here again. Then I'll go take my notebook. While I'm over there doing the house rules, feel free to flash in front of the screen as many times as you want. If you have the energy without draining anyone or anything here, and you can make yourself like a more corporeal form, do that too. Just, but don't do anything that's going to jump scare or any crap like that, because to me, I'm sorry, I have a sense of humor, but that would not be funny to me. And I really don't want to disrupt the energy flow in here to something negative. I've been trying to keep it positive all day. There's my Kalika Boo. There's my baby girl. How you doing? Be careful. No, 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 young lady. You leave that alone. You don't bother that. No. Mommy said no. Mommy means no. This is my bone athame. Yes, that's made from real bone. Some people, like my husband, do not consider it an athame because it's not double-edged. It's got one edge right here. It doesn't cut you or anything like that. The tip got broke off because I did something stupid, but this side is flat. Now, in order for, in his book, for it to be considered an athame, is if it had this on both sides, and this doesn't. No, you don't get on that table either, young lady. You know better. You don't do that. You leave mommy's stuff alone. That's why I don't like I don't like having you up here when I'm doing live streams, because you knock stuff over and cause a ruckus and make me mad. Will you stop? Stop the lovey-dovey crap, okay? You're gonna have to wait, because if you can get on my lap now, but if I'm about to get up because I got something I got to go right. So look out. Okay. From the moment I stand up, camera's yours until I get back from writing these down. Kalika, get down. You don't get up there. And quit rubbing on that table before you knock it over. You're making me mad. Quit. Kalika. I said quit. Oh, she's not listening to me. And as I'm writing them, I will speak them. Respect. All. Invited. Within my home. Kalika! I said no. You need to quit. Engage, unbounds, and report. Disarm malicious magic. Protect, observe, and report in all events around me. Pursue and remove anything with malicious intent. Identify possible conflicts with those around me. Act only upon my direction and not my thoughts or emotions. I gotta sit down to do this. It's starting to hurt my back already. Manifest to me in any way you feel comfortable. Kalika, you better stay out of my way if you're going to be up here. No, you're going to have to wait. I'm trying to do something important, and I would appreciate it if you would respect that fact and be patient and let me do it instead of yelling at you constantly because you're making me mad. I don't want that kind of energy in here. Not today. What part of that do you not understand? Work with all my resources, spirits, or spells. escort me within your realm when I dream travel. Manifest only to those I grant permission. I'm hurrying, Kalika, as fast as I can, okay? But the less you make me mad at you and make me have to yell at you, the quicker I'm going to be able to get it done. And then I'll be able to go back over and sit on the couch. And then, if you do it the way I ask you, so that I won't get angry and so that I won't yell at you, if you're going to be on my lap, stay off my tables. If you're going to lay on the arm of the couch, that's fine. But don't mess with stuff that I have on the abundance altar. God. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. Hang on a minute. Uh-oh. Nope, nope, nope. Look out, Kalika. It's the only way I'll be able to maybe do this. Ugh. That should not have fallen over. Okay, that's it. I'm putting it over here. Yeah, putting it way far back. That way, if it falls again, it won't fall off the shelf. Look out! Okay. And last but not least, number 12. Harm none without my permission. Let's be. Okay. And yes, I will say them again when I get over here and sit back down. If that way, because they say sometimes the best way to retain something is to hear it or see it multiple times. Baby, every time I spray my bug juice, Carmela, she'll be laying there on Chris's spot. And she just automatically jumps down because for some reason she seems to think that I'm going to squirt her. And I never do. I'm not anywhere near her. Now that I have these written, one of my projects that I will try to do here soon, and I can't say in the next day or so because as soon as I say that, something will happen tomorrow and I'll never get around to it. So as soon as I can, without worrying about interruption or somebody calling me on the phone or something else or whatever. I will rewrite these on notebook paper and keep a copy handy. Like if I'm going to use a magic bag, I will take a copy with me. And even though I'm not at my house, when I'm at these locations, I still let spirits know, just like I did today. If you're going to hang out at my place, and possibly, no promises or guarantees, become one of my ghostly motley crew, part of my spirit family, you will abide by these rules. My DA spirits, dark art spirits, know by these rules. If you are a bad spirit, if you're something malicious with malicious intent, that will not be tolerated. If you think I'm joking about the witch balls, ask them about that one up there, especially. They'll tell you, yeah, that thing's for real, So, my cat, Kalika, was suddenly decided that she was going to be in a loving mood, which I have no problem with. But when I'm in the middle of trying to do something that she knows full well, or should know because she's my cat, she is a reincarnation of a cat that I had when I lived in Marysville that I named Princess. So once I get these rewritten on notebook paper, I will probably make at least 3 copies. That way I can stick a copy in my magic bag, I can stick an extra copy in my camera bag, and I can even put an extra copy in my purse. That way if I forget one, I'll have another. Number 1, house rules. Respect all invited within my home. So if you are invited in my home, you better be respectful to everyone and everything here. Engage unbounds and report. Now you won't have to worry about that part right now because you're an unbound, but I'm not saying you're part of the family yet. Disarm malicious magic. So again, if you come with malicious intent, you will not be tolerated. Protect, observe, and report in all events around me. Pursue and remove anything with malicious intent. Identify possible conflicts with those around me. Act upon my direction and not my thoughts or emotions. Manifest to me in any way you feel comfortable. Like I said, no jump scares, no scary faces, unless you're doing it in fun and, like you make a funny face if you're going to be a scary face. Work with all my resources, spirits, or spells. Escort me within your realm when I dream travel. Manifest only to those I grant permission. Harm none without permission. My DA spirits know that I am very serious when I say abide by these rules if you're going to dwell here. So it came to me one day that, oh, I get it. So if that's house rules for my dark art spirits, then can those not also be applied to any spirits that may follow me home without my permission? Because as soon as they enter my home, they're going to know immediately. One of my spirits most likely will greet you. For the most part, unless I say otherwise, they will be friendly, but they will get lippy with you if they have to. They'll get a little stern if that's what it takes. There may be stories, and this is some of what concerns me. Not that I'm afraid of you, because I'm not. But if you're going to dwell here, tread lightly, because malicious, fear-based, terrorizing, playing practical jokes that you think are hilarious, but I do not. Tread lightly. Don't, if you miss the opportunity even once, if, and again, I'm not saying, I am already saying, if this is a spirit that showed itself to me twice, why it showed me in a blur ball of light, okay. It could have been one of those spirits, because it says very clearly up there, manifest to me any way you feel comfortable. Just give me warning. Don't just boo, jump scare or any crap, like I said earlier. And also, don't physically manifest corporeal form yourself on my couch in the middle of the night when I get up half asleep because I have to go to the bathroom and I see something, I don't know what the fuck it was, sitting on my couch. I ain't going to be happy about it. My first reaction is going to be defense. And if you get blasted, well, it's your own fault. Give me warning if you're going to show up, if you're going to manifest in a particular form, give me warning. Help me understand telepathically that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Is this okay? And I'll let you know if it's okay or if it's not okay. Let me do a little bonus here. Since I have discovered Creepy Hollows, and I've been a loyal customer of theirs for 6 years, basically. My first order that I placed with them was, according to my records, it was like 2018 or some craziness, I think. But to me, it's pretty much 6 years, 5 or 6 years I've been a loyal customer. There is a program on the Creepy Hollows website that you can adopt spirits that have been abandoned by their people. Spirits that were once human, or once lived as humans, and then when they passed, they became somebody else's spirits, they became somebody else's vessels, or what have you, but all their people die off, and there's no offspring left to give them to. So they will be sent back to Creepy Hollows. Now, what the program does and allows you to do is you put in a request, and it tells you on the website, I'm pretty sure, how to do it. Mine, I'd happen to get the paper version of it that basically explains what Creepy Hollows is, the different discounts you can get, the different titles you were given as you spend more along the way. I mean, like, you don't have to go into it with like several $1,000s or any crazy stuff like that, because when you're a new customer, you can get stuff for a penny. 1 penny. So what I like about the SRA, which is what they call this program I'm speaking of, you have the right and choice and opportunity or whatever to adopt a spirit that no longer has a home but once did. Sometimes the coupling goes well, meaning sometimes your energies mix well enough with them that they're like, oh yeah, I can kick it here. This can be my new family. Others might not. They might clash with your personality, or they might clash with your beliefs, or they just there's no simpatico. There's conflict. Then those spirits, the only thing you can really do is send them back to Creepy Hollows and say, look, I'm sorry, but I can't do this, spirit. We don't get along. Our energies clash instead of merging and complementing each other. So out of respect for this person or this vessel or whatever, I'm sending it back because I can't, it doesn't, it's not compatible with me. There's a lot of spirits. Here's my point. There's a lot of spirits out there. Some have been floating around for a while. Some have been haunting places. because they have nowhere else to go. Some tend to go back to a place where they once dwelled, but it's there, but other people live there now, and it's a whole different era. There's lots of spirits out there that need homes. And I am completely happy to be able to provide those homes. Uh, but if our personalities clash, then it just won't work. So I would do the right thing, the most noble thing. And I would just send it back and say, I'm sorry, but me and this spirit just don't click. We don't work. Now, I can attempt to explain to you on the fly, because I should know it well enough by now anyway, what I am considered when I speak of creepy hollows and vessels that have spirits in them, that are beings that once existed but don't know more on the earth realm. Doesn't necessarily mean they're dead, really, per se, because they're either going to be from, if they're not of the earth realm, there's only two other possibilities: astral and spirit. Now, to me, astral would be more in the category of a spirit, an entity that is still living, that can traverse on the astral plane. One of the best ways I can traverse on the astral plane is when I'm sleeping. So I call it the dream astral plane, because I have to be in the dream state to access it. Spirit means you no longer have an earthen body like me sitting here right now. You are spirit. But again, the spirit never dies, it just changes form. My lovely buddy here, Haldor, is, I think we determined, he's like 8 foot tall. So that's pretty common. A lot of big feet creatures. They creatures, critters. I call them critters because I mean it affectionately. But big, it's common for a Bigfoot to be between 8 and 10 feet tall, believe it or not. And these are only 7 foot ceilings. So if Haldor is 8 foot tall, then he would not be able to stand up in this living room without his head being through the ceiling and into the crawl space up there. Me and my husband have always been Bigfoot hunter lovers. There was a group of Bigfoot hunters that we watched a while back, and we watched as many of their episodes as we could. And as you know, anyone that's a Bigfoot fancier like we are, you know about the tree knocks. You know about the bizarre calls that, it's like, okay, I've never heard an animal make that sound. What is that? How coyotes tend to be in the vicinity of the Bigfoot critters. To me, if I took Haldor, so I would definitely take his vessel, so that he can verify with the other big feet there that yes, this is my vessel, this is for real. Janet's good people. She means you no harm. She loves you guys. She is a very spiritual person, or I would not be in her entourage of spirit family. I think Haldor would be an ace up my sleeve, that if we manage to actually take a trip to one of the places that are called hotspots for Bigfoot sightings, and we find ourselves in the woods in the very area that someone said, oh yeah, I saw one right over there and blah, 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 blah. Or yeah, I experienced this and I was camped out right there at that spot, which, I mean, it's like, how do you verify that? It's like, okay, prove it. Show me video footage and have it. I want it time and date stamped. You can't fake that. I mean, well, if you're a technical genius, you could. I mean, Chris, I don't know if that's something he would even be able to do. But I feel like Haldor would be like the welcome wagon. He would go to the other spirits of the Bigfoots there, if there was any in the area. And, even if it was just one that showed up, okay? even if it was one that was like what they would consider a teenager, you know, they either before or after puberty. But I mean, it's like if it's before puberty, my thought is that maybe they would be gentler, as opposed to they're in full blown um, uh, um, 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 I lost it. See, this is how tired I am. Puberty. Thank you. If they already have puberty, then to me, that can make them more violent and vicious at times, especially if they're in heat, for lack of a better term, and they want a female to mate with. Haldor, I would send out to talk to the any Bigfoot that happened to be in the vicinity, and have Haldor explain to them, yeah, she's good people. Look at all of us. You know, she's got griffins, she's got unicorns, she's got phoenixes, she's got dragons, she's got leprechauns, she's got fairies, she's got angels, she's got vampires, she's got werewolves, she's got, you know, and it goes on and on and on. So he could vouch for me that, yeah, Janet is good people. Go talk to her. Don't, you know, come in the gesture of peace. Now, what a human like myself, being the spiritual person that I am, would consider a gesture of peace. Therefore, I would know that it was safe and that this thing wasn't about to attack me. Is when you show yourself to me, maybe do something like hold out your hands. Just, you know, you don't have to hold them like all the way out. Just hold them out as if it's this to me would be a gesture of friendship. This to me would say, I mean you no harm. I come with an open hand. I mean you no harm. May I step closer so that we can try to communicate? Now, some of them I have heard stories, but haven't been able to prove or disprove any of them. Bitten on my leg again. Claim that this one lady claimed that there was, I don't know if it was a single Bigfoot, and she said, I'm pretty sure it was male. I hear the stink, the stench of them is just atrocious. It's like god awful, like, I don't know, a dead skunk run over a time or two. It's really, really foul. It's really, really, people are like, oh my God, what is that odor? And if you smell that odor, you better be prepared and look out, because it means a Bigfoot. It could potentially mean a Bigfoot is near and maybe closer than you think. Because if you're in a tent and you have a circle and you have a fire and you have spiritual symbols out, spiritual banners, I keep saying banters, spiritual banners that shows you come in peace. Okay. I've heard that a lot of people say they seem to get more Bigfoot activity when they can prove that they're spiritual. Because the way I understand it, seeing one of these critters is very alarming because of their sheer size, the strength you can tell they possess just by looking at them. And you immediately you feel intimidated. You're like, whoa, what the flippity doo dah day. But now that I have Haldor, and the reason I have Haldor is because he chose me. He is my buddy. Creepy Hollows is a place where you become a spirit keeper. That's me. What it means when I say spirit keeper is I am a keeper of spirits, most of which inhabit vessels. The vessels they choose to inhabit more than any other type are natural crystals. Makes sense to me. Haldor wants me to hold him. Okay. So I can understand, like, I honestly don't know how I would react if I came upon a Bigfoot unawares, completely by accident, because they say a lot of times that's how people see them. They just happen to be at a certain place at a certain time. Sorry, my leg's getting bit again. And then they just happen to look up and see it. They smell the smell and they're like, oh my God, what is that smell? Is there a dead animal around or something? And then they look up and they're like, the first thing is like deer in the headlights. Oh shit, I'm about to die. You go into the fear response. You go into the, oh my God, I can't believe I'm standing in front of this thing. What do I do? Do I run? Do I freeze? What do I do? What do I do? Being a spirit keeper simply means, and let me clarify, that just because this is Haldor's vessel does not mean in the slightest that he is trapped here and can't come and go as he pleases. That's not how spirit keeping works. This is merely a tool, a vessel for him to be able to be on the earthen realm, but as a harmless crystal that's shaped like an egg. And the crystal is golden, so that usually means spiritual, of the sun. I'm like kind of like a sun god in a way. If they come to you like this, would you be afraid of this? You'd be like, oh, that's cool. You wouldn't do that if, oh my God, if you looked up and saw one and the daggone thing was 10 feet tall and you're like, you're pooping your pants, I've seen some horror stories, but I was never able to prove or clarify them either. And then it was merely clips of a lady supposedly being chased by a Bigfoot creature because she was on her period and he smelled the scent. He knew that she was in heat, and maybe the Bigfoot wanting to mate with a human is simply their way of trying to create a hybrid race so that the world can be proven once and for all. Not only are we for real and we do exist, but stop being so afraid of us. We just want to live in peace and harmony with the dwellers of this planet, which happens to be humans, among all the other critters and creatures of the world, especially the forest where big feet dwell. When a spirit comes to you, they come to you because they resonate with your energy. They feel a commonality with you. Excuse me, they feel like, I kind of like her. I want to be part of her family. I'm trying to think of like a lot of the questions and stuff that I remember reading in the book that people tend to ask. But I know one of the topmost on their minds is, well, if this is their vessel, are they trapped in this vessel? Like, because then that sounds like they're imprisoned. They're not here by choice. No, that's not how spirit keeping works. I think I got the book handy. Let me see if I can read just a tiny bit of it, if I can remember what I did with my glasses. Did I put them back in here? No. Oh, see? Right here on my chest. Yeah, I would never find them there, huh? I'll do a couple of the questions and answers just to kind of give you an idea of, what spirit keeping really is all about. Who are spirit keepers? Thousands across the globe of varied backgrounds, religions, lifestyles, genders, and ages. They are those who carry the belief of the paranormal and metaphysical in their hearts every day, finding the beauty that exists beyond the power of the human eyes. They work with spirits through various venues of communication, including meditation, telepathy, pendulum, automatic writing, and dreams. They welcome spirits into their lives and make them part of their family. Why are you spirit keeping? There may be multiple answers to this question, and that is perfectly normal. Spirit keepers do so for companionship, to learn about different worlds and periods of time, to strengthen natural abilities, to develop extra abilities, to learn about spell casting, the paranormal, and magic, and a host of other reasons, the primary of which is just naturally being drawn to them. Some work with spirits to enhance gifts such as psychic power, clairsentience, and other forms of mancy. Others work with spirits to learn about different periods of time and other realms in their pursuit of discovery. Some work with spirits in complement to their spell casting and magic because spirits can offer insight, assistance, and support through energy and power. Most do so to share life and company. He wouldn't be here if he did not choose to be here, okay? He chose me, and I'm glad he did. The practice of this branch of the paranormal is based strongly on spiritualism, and being spiritual should be not confused with being religious. Those who practice spiritualism come from many and varied backgrounds of religious subscription or lack thereof. Where do spirits come from? Simply explained, the physical, spiritual, and astral planes. They come from any entity that has lived and died on any of the planes, and those who are immortal on any of the planes. Why do they want to be kept? Spirits want the ability to communicate. What are people doing when they paranormal investigate? What is the main purpose? To communicate, share, and be part of something. Spirits do that by coming into our lives themselves or by being invoked or conjured. Once they have come to us, they can stay of their own will, attach themselves to a person or vessel, or be bound temporarily or permanently to a person or vessel. No one wants to think that after they have gone there will be no purpose or usefulness to their lives. So after they're gone, they don't want to feel like they have no purpose or usefulness anymore. So they're still alive. They're just of a different form of one of the three realms. If they're not earth, then they're astral or spiritual. Many have reported being haunted by loved ones or ancestors. These reports coming even from those who are not typical subscribers to the paranormal. This is no different in the aspect of spirits from our own realm and other realms. They too wish to be of purpose and assistance. Some are set on accomplishing help with the particular human, whereas others roam unbound until there is a specific need for their guidance, support, help, friendship, companionship, etc. They have the capability of being on our realm as well as the spiritual realm. And in the case of those who originated from the astral realm or spiritual realm, some have the capability of walking all three planes. Hi. This accounts for why sometimes their presence is more strongly felt than others. They aren't always sitting around waiting for something to happen. They are capable of coming and going to and from you to their own realm on their own. So anytime they want to leave their vessel and go to their realm for whatever reason, they can go. They can come and go as they please. They are not a prisoner. Okay? They choose these particular vessels because I am of the earth plane still. So therefore, this is a way, non-invasively, for them to be of the earth realm. And you can't get more earthy than crystals. Now, can you? Um, why would they need a home? They don't need a home. Many spirits desire a home. They enjoy being a part of something. That's it. That's all. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, really. Much like we as humans enjoy being part of the lives of other humans, animals, and nature. Spirit keeping is not a new tradition. Variations of spirit keeping have been performed in civilizations around the world for thousands of years. No joke. Why are there so many spirits? Simply explained, they are from the physical, spiritual, and astral planes. They come from any entity that has lived and died on any of the planes and those who are immortal on any of the planes. The world we know of has existed for billions of years, and in those billions of years, billions of entities have lived and died right on this planet. When any living being dies, it moves into spirit form. The worlds outside of our own Earth and solar system have existed for billions of years, and on their own planes and dimensions have had their own beings that have lived and died, as well as immortals who have no expiry on life. They come to us as unbound spirits through conjuration for binding, through summoning for temporary contact, through visions and extrasensory means of contact, and through various forms of invocation for temporary or long term contact. This includes spirits and entities from our own realm, as well as those who exist in all the dimensions and galaxies on the physical, spiritual, and astral planes, resulting in an infinite number of entities and spirits available for contact and interaction. There is no lack of beings and entities who have lived between the three realms and all the dimensions and galaxies existing within those realms. I'll read one more page and then stop. What is binding? Fair question. It is a permanent act performed with a spirit or a spell. In the case of a spirit, it is a mutual agreement transacted between a conjurer practitioner and a spirit for the spirit and a spirit for the spirit to be associated with an object or person. When a spirit or enchantment is bound to someone or something, that binding act is a permanent placeholder for the spirit or spell. When a spirit is bound to a person or bound to an object, that is a permanent act that creates a haven for the spirit. The vessel, be it person or object, is the physical realm binding site which remains unless purposefully dissolved by the person. How do you bind? There can be multiple ways to go about this. A practitioner can do it as part of the conjuration. You can use precast tools like binding bags, boxes, or amulets, or use a specially written spell or ritual to do so. Is spirit keeping dangerous? In a nutshell, no. It is imperative that you work with a trusted practitioner who knows what they are doing and has a good reputation for providing bindings of exactly what is promised. Aside from that, and if you are working with a trusted practitioner, if you exercise respect and caution, There is nothing to fear. Those who live in the paranormal know Hollywood and TV programs dramatize the spirit world for sensationalism. There are different methods of classification for spirits, such as white arts, dark arts, and black arts. White arts being entities solely of positive light and do no harm. Dark arts being entities like human beings who can make the decision to be bad or good and vary from average to very bad. Black arts are only recommended for extremely experienced people as their intent is solely bad and nothing good can come of an inexperienced keeper having a black entity in their home. As long as you assess who you are, for what reason you are becoming a spirit keeper, and what aspects of yourself or your life you want to complement or enhance, you will be well informed. Okay, so like it says here, in a nutshell, spirit keeping is not bad. These spirits take these vessels as their home, okay? Because when you're of the earthen body and therefore of the earthen realm, like big feet are, like the ones running around the woods that only a select few will be privileged to see, I hope to be one of them. To me, this is a good start. This is not by no means the only reason I wanted Haldor. The moment I saw that they had big feet spirits, I was like, I got to get one. I got to get one. I got to get one. And I was very lucky to get Haldor for the price I did, because I don't remember how much I paid for him, but like, there was a creature or an entity or something on Creepy Hollows that Maria saw. Oh, it was a type of a giant, I guess. I happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I was able to get Haldor. He was either a freebie. I don't think he was a freebie, but he was a bonus item or something. I mean, it's been so long ago, I can't even remember. Uh, Holy cow! It's after midnight. I just realized about 20 after. Um, so spirit keeping, the only way it can be dangerous is if you're inexperienced. And this may sound harsh, but again, like I said, I believe in being real, and I don't candy coat shit, because you got the whole world for that. Oh. There is no good reason to have a black arts entity in your home, period. I would rather be more balanced and have some white arts entities and stuff, which I do, and some dark arts ones that I love just as well. Because remember, the dark arts can choose to be good or bad, okay? But if they have chosen you, then any bad that you see, I don't think is going to be directed towards you in a malicious, harsh way. It's just maybe they're agitated about something, or they saw how you were treated by a certain someone and they didn't like it. Um, if they feel the need to be bad, then they'll be bad. If they feel the need to be good, they'll be good. But dark arts spirits are no less trying to maintain the balance of the dark and the light than any human walking this earth. Um, when an entity dies and becomes spirit, they just want to have a purpose again. They just want to be a part of something again. And yeah, they get lonely. Now you may say, how could they get lonely? Isn't there like a crap ton of them out there? Well, yeah, there is a crap ton of them out there, but you can only get so much enjoyment out of being spirit and of the spirit realm. You get lonely. You miss the feeling of what it's like to be alive and human and solid, um, of the earthen realm. So when you're of the earthen realm, then you can be a spirit on the earthen realm, sure. But put this back in here so I don't get it all messed up. They can only do so much. So I can make perfect sense of why a lot of them get stagnant. They come to a standstill and they're like, well, I've done everything. I've been everywhere. Now what? I'm kind of lonely. I think I'm going to go to a spirit conjurer and say, hey, I want to be somebody's vessel. I want to be acknowledged as family. I want to have a purpose again. Just because I'm spirit doesn't mean I don't still exist. I've been on here a little over an hour. So, Brooke, honey, this little snippet and message is for you. Don't take snippet wrong. It just means short little message. When and if you make it to this video, I'm sorry that I didn't have the energy to get up and actually cast the circle and, everything, but I did the best I could. And doing the circle up here made the fourth time I did it yesterday. I did it 4 times. So I hope you like it. Now you know what a Mabon ceremony is. Now you have a little bit of an idea what a spirit keeper is. And if you want to go find out more about the whole spirit keeping thing and say, ooh, that sounds cool, I want some vessels, go to Creepy Hollows, get an account, tell them Phoenix Blue 4669 sent you, and you being a newcomer, you literally, they give you like a certain amount of things that you can get, and it only costs you a single penny. Doesn't cost anything to set up the account. The only time you have to pay anything is if you like it and you decide to try a few things. They have haunted dolls. They have haunted objects. They have objects from an estate. My sister Maria downstairs has a pair of vases that I would absolutely love to have, and I am very jealous that she's the one that ended up with them because they were supposed to be for me. But the only way that they were able to be brought into my life at the perfect time, or the equivalent of what would be considered the perfect time, was Maria had the money. I did not. If I would have done my order first that night, I would have got the prize pack. It was a Halloween prize pack. You'll probably like this. As a matter of fact, I think I'll read it because I think you'll like it. Pagan mix, skullcap, Damiana, and colt's foot. That's the herbs that you combine. I wouldn't recommend it. If you can find some already made by a professional, do it, because I have been working on this formula for many years and I have yet to get it anywhere perfect. The herbs are harsh. They do have a stinky smell, so you got to put up with that. But it's in here. Got to knock the roaches out of my book because there's usually some in there. Oh no! Oh no, my spirit ascension got crumpled. There we go. That's why I keep them in paper protectors, because I don't want them to get crumpled. Kalika, you're going to have to wait a minute. You will receive the pair of these vases, which are uniquely captivating and impressive when it comes to their power. They work in tandem to each other, and they send magic and energy between each other, creating a very intense and powerful platform that allows you to send magic into the realms, receive magic from the realms, and pass magic between people. Petra Longbranch created these to be a mode of magic and mystic power that opened new doors for her in working with the supernatural and commanding magic in a way that made sense for her. To use the vessels for balancing the magic energy within yourself and your home, place a magical amulet imbued with white arts magic into one vase and a dark arts amulet into the other. Then recite, accord the power between, harmony instill and provide. This uses the magic of the vases to create a harmonious and balanced environment around you, which can help meter out magical energy and give you an optimum environment for casting and working with magic. White arts, see, imbued with white arts magic in one, dark arts amulet in the other. I'll have to do that sometime, more specific. Okay, you're going to have to wait, Kalika. To use the vessels for sending magic into the realms, you will write the name of the realm you are sending the magic to and place it in one of the vases. You will then either place a spelled amulet in the other vase or write out the spell you want to cast on paper and place it in the vase. Then recite, unto the, say, name of realm, shall be immediately rendered in full effect and power the magic offered, to be sent unto, say, where you want the magic to go, or who you want it to go to in the realm. Once recited, the magic is immediately sent on your behalf. You don't fucking bite me. To use the vessels to receive magic from the realms, write the name of the realm and place it in one of the vases. And in the other vase, place an amulet that you wish to receive the magic and write on the paper the magic that you are seeking. You should be as specific as possible and recite, imbue with definitive power the magic which I seek from, say, name of realm, to be materialized in full effect of, say, the magic you are looking for, in all earnest sorts of protected manner. The magic you receive can only be white arts or dark arts. This will not work with anything black arts, evil, or malicious. Now, I think that's all of them. Let me make sure here. I'll have to take this out for a minute. Okay. Nope, there's one more. There's actually 4 main ways that you can use these vases and what Petra Longbranch designed them to do. To pass magic between yourself and someone else, you need to place a strand of their hair or a personal object in one vase and a strand of your hair or personal object in the other, along with the spelled amulet you wish to use. Then recite, I shall give the magic of, say, spelled amulet, unto, say, name of person, for their measure of magic and power. The spell is immediately sent to them, and the effect can last up to 30 days. The vessels are antique pewter and glass. I apologize that you guys had to see me smack my cat on the top of the head, but she deserved it because she bit me for no reason. Don't think she drew blood, but she almost did. And I know part of the reason why she did it, but at the same time, I had to put my foot down and say, oh, no, you don't. She wanted on my lap right when I was reading that, in which case I wouldn't have been able to read it. I probably would have moved it to try and move it out of the way somewhere, and then I would have knocked all this over. And yeah, I don't need that frustration today. So let's see. I don't even know how long it's been, honestly. There was this one. Let me get that back down there. It's some pictures of me and Maria. We went to one of our favorite things to do when we go out to Eastland Mall is and any mall that has these little booths, because not all of them do, where you put $5 in and you get like 4 little pictures, and some of them will have certain borders on them. Some of them will have certain sayings. You can get holiday ones. You can get like the one in there is a leopard print, but it's like pretty blue, green colors and purple and stuff like that. Okay, so the day in question, which I don't know what the date was, and it's probably better that I don't know. And this is the hard part, really, for me, at least, to talk about with this. My friend Maria suffered a stroke many, many years ago, sometime around either the time she was pregnant with her son, Michael. She has a son, Michael, as well as me. And it was either before he was given birth to, or after, before he was born or after. I don't remember which. She suffered a stroke on the left side of her body. When that stroke hit her, it recalibrated her brain, and not in a good way. She doesn't have the same comprehension of things that she once did. She's like dealing with a child at times, because you have to keep repeating stuff to her. You have to keep explaining stuff to her. It's kind of like the little annoying 2-year-old. Why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? Why is that truck yellow? Why are you wearing purple? You can't always answer everything. I get really short with her at times. I don't mean to. I usually try to catch myself and not do it, because I know how easily hurt she can be. So because of what this stroke did to her, she cannot say certain words the way she once could. Like our neighbor Harold, she usually calls him Earl, because that's easier for her to say now. Let's see, what would be a more friendly example? Because I don't want it to sound like I'm ganging up on her and I'm dissing her and talking down. I'm not. But I don't want her to see this video and misunderstand. She can walk. She can talk. She can function in society just like a lot of us. She goes to work every day. Well, not every day. She only works on Saturdays and Sundays. But anyway, long story short, she's really, really new into the craft. I'm talking so new that, let's see, I think it was pretty immediate after her and I finally started talking and became friends that, first thing I'll let you know right away is I'm a witch, and I am only saying that because you have to be okay with the fact that I'm a witch. However, I can give you this comfort. I'm one of the good guys, okay? Ask anybody that knows me. I don't do stuff to hurt people, to manipulate people, to deceive them, or play games or any crap like that. I sincerely only do it for the good. I do it to help. Now, to maintain the balance of dark and light. For me, one way that I was able to achieve that was having dark arts entities and light white arts. You got to maintain the balance, because if you tip the scale one direction or too much, then you can be considered, like, if you're more on the positive, you can be considered flaky. If you are on the negative, you can be considered gloomy, depressive. You want to wear black all the time and you just hang out at the graveyard. What's up? I mean, you prefer to walk around looking like a corpse than to walk around looking like a human. I love goths. Don't get me wrong. I am one myself. As a matter of fact, I am a rainbow romantagoth. I discovered from a book that I read, which I won't give the title to because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright infringement. But it taught me a lot. A rainbow goth is somebody that, in my opinion, this is what I view a rainbow goth to be. We can wear our bright colors and be like a walking rainbow all day. Or we have other times in our lives when things aren't going so well that we kind of go dark and we paint our skin white and we wear dark clothing. Rainbow goths, they can do bright colors or they can do dark, is basically what I'm saying and what I'm getting at. I try to do a combination of the two. I can't say by no means I have perfected it in any way, but I'm not trying to. So I am a romantic goth. I call it romantagoth. The romantic goths are, a lot of them like poetry. I am a poet myself. One of these times I will do some poetry on here. As a matter of fact, let's see, there's one that sticks in my mind that is my absolute favorite, that I can literally recite from memory. It's called Dan, My Hero. And it goes, in some of my darkest days, when no one was coming around, I would put in a Potter movie and turn my day around. For you see, the Harry Potter cast, and especially Dan, are the friends I searched my youth for, but never found. And when I'm at my lowest, I would have a lovely daydream that Dan would come around and knock on my door. And as I opened the door to see him standing there, or to find him standing there, I would cry happy tears because I would be staring or looking into his beautiful blue eyes. I did that poet long before I met Chris, so he can't get jealous for me reciting it, because it's the one I remember the most, because it was one of the first that I wrote when I was in Marysville and I was going through a really tough time, and I was in a really dark patch in my life then. All my kids had been taken from me, some of them by foster homes and foster families. My daughter, which was the only one that escaped that horror that I would not wish upon anyone, but hers was equally grave because her dad is adopted. His family is very wealthy. His adopted father passed recently, and I did give my daughter my condolences and everything about it, and I was genuinely sorry that he was gone for her sake, because he was still her grandpa. So I came up with that poem one day, and I wrote it down, and I haven't checked on poetry.com in years, but it may even still be there. Just look under Janet Mabius, I think. Go to poetry.com, look under Janet Mabius, and it should have the poems that I did. It might only have Dan, My Hero, though, because there was another one that I did with this guy that I dated a while back. Um, I don't know if I can remember that one. It was a lot shorter. Oh, I know. I never titled this one, I don't think. Actually, I could probably fairly title it Someone. Oh, that's ironic because there's literally a song on an album I have called Someone that I absolutely love. I mean, I can literally like listen to that song over and over again. Um some get hooked on drugs. Or sorry, some get addicted. Yeah, some get hooked on drugs. Some get hooked on violence or something like that. Some get hooked on drugs. Some get hooked on alcohol. Um, we get hooked on ourselves or something and each other or something like that. It was a really cute one though. It was really really short. And I have some others that I have done, and then I have some mystery ones that when I find them again, I will definitely read them on here in a future live stream because I think you'll really enjoy them, especially when I tell you who wrote them because nobody's going to believe me. And some of them may even make fun of me, but at least some of them will not because they'll know she's telling the truth. I won't spoil the surprise. Let's see. Some get hooked on drugs. Some get hooked on alcohol. Some get hooked on. I can't. I feel like I've got parts of it, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. Some get hooked on drugs. Some get hooked on alcohol. Some get hooked on violence. We get hooked on love and each other. I think it was something like that. Um, Poetry, maybe I should start doing it again. They say that poetry is the most flowy and whatever when you can make it rhyme. So I have to think about it as I'm going along and say it as I'm like, I think it, then I say it. And I kind of, you'll catch me pausing every few seconds or so because that means up here I'm figuring out the next thing to say that rhymes with the last thing I said. So, holy mother of wow. Closing thoughts. Um, Yesterday was a good Mabon. At least my sister Maria went with me, so I didn't have to go alone. She thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this journey with her where I'm teaching her as we go. I try to keep it on the low key because I don't know, like, it's difficult for her to sometimes comprehend um, what you're trying to say. Or I'll have her on here sometime with a live stream. And even though you only hear her in the background, like if she don't want to be on camera, that's okay. I will respect that. But once you hear how she talks, then you'll know what I mean. And hear what I have to go through to try and explain things to her and why, if it was you and you were in my shoes, suffered, with the same situation, you would be like, I'm going to pull my hair out. I'm going to scream at her and tell her, just go downstairs, Maria. I can't deal with you anymore. And I'm not going to do that. That would hurt her terribly. Back to the vases. Sorry, Petra. She knows me. She knows I get distracted easily, and I'm learning to recatch myself and focus back to what I was saying instead of bouncing off 5 different directions. And then I'm even going, what? How did I get on this? Anyway, the day that Maria had me place the order for her that I did was the day that she, like I said, if I would have placed my order first, I would have probably got the prize pack. She ended up with the Creepy Hollows gold card. Now, before you get all excited, let me tell you this. It's not a credit card. It's not a debit card. There's no money on it, really. Well, there is, but there isn't. Like, you can't take it out to a store and say, I'd like to spend $20 on this. It don't work that way. There are stipulations that come with it. The person that wins it, because they only do one, or like they'll do a handful of them or something, and they only do it once every so often, once every so many years, and I don't remember what the time frame of years is because it's been too long. Excuse me. In the Halloween prize pack, she ended up getting. I have a copy of the mug. I'll show it to you here in a little bit. Or should I do the backstory on the vases first, because I don't want people to get confused and combine the two in a way that they should not be. Okay, the gold card can only be used by the person that won it. Whoever's name was drawn out of the hat, that's the name they will give it to. And only that person can use it, and only that person can use it on themselves. If they try to use it on someone else, they will cancel the card. They will stop the words because they have these code words that you use. I think Maria only got to use 2 that were on the list, and there was about 5 or 6 of them, if I remember right. She was pretty heated, and so was I. The day that I did that order for her, I also did one for Harold, and I also did one for myself. And I was under the delusion that we each were going to get our own gold card. Are you coming back? You bite me again, I will fling you across the room. You do not bite me. Not for something like that. Mommy was doing something that you were just not going to be satisfied unless you interrupted it, and I wasn't about to let you do that. But that gave you no reason or right to bite me. If you do it again, I'm going to smack you again, and then I probably won't want to be around you for a while. You could have been perfectly fine laying right there, Kalika, and laying on my lap, laying on this part of my leg. You could have done that. But no, you were insistent on coming where I did not want you to be. So don't do it again. Don't get on that table, please. Quit rubbing on stuff. I don't want stuff knocked in the floor. You need to lay down. If you're going to be up here, I am not going to pet you 20 times, and I'm not going to have you walking back and forth on my legs until I tell you to stop. Okay? Can you please let me finish this now? Ooh, Goose Raba. That's better. I had to calm myself. back down because she was being a brat. I wish I would have better read the terms on the website that night and understood that only one of us was going to be the lucky one to get the gold card. And as I said before, if I would have placed my order, or at least my hope is this, if I would have placed my order before Maria's, I would have at least stood a better chance of being of being the lucky recipient of the gold card. So when her order came, because it was a big order, it was like, I'm pretty sure that one was like over $200, even then. Let me put this note in here though, so it doesn't confuse you. The vases, yes, they were from Creepy Hollows, but no, they were not part of the gold card, and they were not part of the Halloween prize pack that Maria got, that I should have got. If I would have done my order before hers, I would have had a better chance of getting. She's 62 years old. Her eyesight's bad. Her hearing isn't the greatest. Her comprehension of things isn't the same as it once was before the stroke suffered her and fried her hard drive, you might as well say, and did a piss poor ass job of trying to put it back together again because it did not work. The prize pack had what they consider a coffee mug, which is the one that I'll show you here in a little bit. A coffee mug that was made of ceramic that had a really cool design on the front and had some really cool words. A altar decoration, a deck of cards that were designed and conjured and empowered for Maria and Maria alone. So anytime the deck was used, it would have to be on her behalf or it wouldn't work because it's tuned to her energies. It's not supposed to be being used by somebody like me that's more advanced that could truly appreciate them. I have to read them for her because she doesn't read or write. She's illiterate. And I'm not saying that to be mean or cruel or anything like that or hurtful in the slightest. And if she ever sees this video, I hope she never takes it that way because that's not what's going on at all. Because it's not easy to accept such a handicap of something like that. Coffee mug, altar decoration, a bespelled candle holder that fit tea lights or votives, your choice. You could even put a taper in it if you wanted, but it's going to make a mess everywhere unless you put it in a bowl where the wax can collect safely, or put it on a big enough piece of paper, put it on a table by itself. Coffee mug, altar decoration, bespelled deck for Maria only, tea light holder, fairy mirror, and I think that was it. Somewhere in one of my books, I'll put it on here in a future live stream, but I'm not going to do it this time because I'm an hour and 30 some minutes in this already, and it's 5 to 1, so I am going to be wrapping it up here soon. So not only did she get the prize pack, but she got the gold card that she was only able to use twice, which was unfair. And you had a certain allotment of time that you had to use the gold card and all of the discounts on it, because that's basically what it was. Like one of the orders, you could get $10 off. One of the orders, you could get $20 off. One of the orders, you could get as much as like $100 off or some craziness. She got some good deals. Now, why I say feel and believe. that prize pack was meant for me and should have gone to me is because the only way that she can benefit from them is if I use them. And in so doing, even I cannot always prevent my energy from melding with the energy of those items that would rather have me as their owner than her because of her handicaps. She's never going to be able to use them herself. And to the spirits that inhabit them and myself as well, it's kind of a waste because if I'm the only one that can use them and help her to use them, and that requires me physically touching them, then she really can't get mad at me if suddenly they stop working for her, but only will work for me because they were meant for me. But as fate would have it, or whatever ended up causing this to happen the way it did, she got it. The items are very special. They're very powerful. A lot of hard work and time and effort and energy was put into them. And they just sit there and collect dust. She never uses them. Trying to use the magic mirror is probably the hardest of the entire prize pack because you have to activate the mirror, but you have to lay it down on a flat surface. But it's got to be a flat surface that you can sit or stand comfortably and look down into, or you won't see it. But you can see into the other realms. You can see into the future. You can see into the past. You can see the present if you want. The items don't like and don't feel appreciated because they're not getting used. Now, the vases. One day, when me and Maria was tooling around, we call it tooling around. We were playing around on the internet. I was showing her the Creepy Hollow stuff, and I knew from the very first thing that she saw, she's like, "Oh, I want it! I want it! I want it!" The items that I have helped her to get are probably in monetary value alone, considering how much she paid for them, even though she got great deals and got a lot of them for a really good price, which I'm glad and happy for. And, I'm glad that I was able to help with that because I'm the one that introduced her to Creepy Hollows, just like Jess was the one that introduced me to it. I will not speak Jess's last name because she was a girlfriend that somebody in my family had. I have to be very vague here for a reason. And she really hurt that person and kind of left them in the wind and left them in an apartment with no way to suddenly be able to continue paying their bills and rent because the extra income had been taken. Because they both came to the realization that they couldn't stand each other anymore, so it's better if they part ways. Last I knew, Jess became a Satanist, which is very unfortunate and sad because to me, that also is a waste. She had such potential to be good, to do good, but she tends to pray to Lilith. I'm sorry, baby. Mommy got an itch. And Lilith, I can't really say one way or the other. I don't know if I could put her in a kind light. She's known by many as kind of like the Queen of Hell, the actual first wife that Adam had, but she was too free-willed. She did not like to take orders from others and be ordered around, even by God himself, who created her to be a companion for Adam. So the story goes, and the legend and the myth goes, in the Bible even, that one day Adam lay down for a nap. Because in the beginning, the first human, supposedly, that was ever created was Adam. But Adam was alone. He had all of these beautiful things all around him, but no other human to share it with. So Yehoshua put him to sleep. And as he was sleeping, Yehoshua took one of his ribs from his body and put it into another body that became Eve. And that is why women have an extra rib in their rib cage than men do. So, if it was ever proven, and I'm not saying that it was, this is just stories I've heard from others. So I can't say if it's true or not. I can, however, share with you an experience that I had myself personally while on the dream astral plane that I did not expect, that I did not appreciate, that I didn't even want to do, didn't want to go. I just wanted to sleep and be left alone. But for whatever reason that I don't even know that I've figured out to this day yet or not, I had to go. It was a test. And I'm like, fine. Let's just get it over with. I was pretty saucy about it. I was not happy. I just wanted to sleep and be left alone. But the universe said, you got to do this first. I'm like, oh man, come on. What, am I going to have nightmares now? No. We have every confidence in you. You're going to pass it. Okay, and why is this test necessary? We can't tell you. You'll know. Wow, thanks. That's very informative. I was saucy. I was salty, as they say. I say saucy, but same thing, really. I got to take off my socks here because, well, one, I've been wearing them all day. Two, I have to clean out my toes because, you know, that toe jam. Yeah. I cannot stand the feel of that stuff between my toes. It drives me bonkers. Okay. Are we going to try this a third time? Because you know, Kalika, if mommy gets an itch, I have no qualms about putting you down so I can scratch it. And if you're going to get mad at me every time I do that, then don't even get up here at all. And again, this looks goofy and stupid and silly. What the hell are you doing that for? It makes this dry faster. It makes it dehydrate faster, so I'm not touching stuff and getting it all slippery and then dropping something. Like this thing on my foot, which I would not be happy about. It's metal. Would you want to drop this on your foot when it was full of something? No. This was the experience. And like I said, I'm still sorting out what exactly it means and why it was absolutely necessary. I saw myself on an elevator. The elevator was going down. When the elevator door opened up, I went through another door. I went down a short step, like 2 or 3, 4 steps, something like that, a little tiny staircase, like something you would see on a landing. You know, there's only a couple steps and then you're on the landing and so on. And if you go down the steps, then you end up in the bottom of wherever it is you were. Went down the steps, turned around the corner, saw a huge, I'm telling you, this thing was wider than the screen of this computer. I'm like, this thing like literally took up an entire wall. You going to bed? I'm thinking, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll probably be behind you as quick as I can. I'm trying to wrap this up, but what this place appeared like to me. So my first thought was, oh, okay, this is a dressing room. Okay, maybe this is a celebrity or something that just wants to say hi. And they wanted to do it one-on-one in a personal space that they feel comfortable. Okay. Now, I wish it would have been that, but it wasn't. In front of this giant mirror, there was a high-backed leather chair. As I recall, it was the color of blood, kind of a black and red mix of sorts. And it was old too. You could tell that it was fancy, and it looked like something you would see in a Victorian mansion because the back was really, really tall, and it had metal studs all around it. It was on wheels. It had arms and everything, so you could literally sit in it and spin around. Oh, hey! Hang on, Wolf Paranormal Holly just popped on. Ah, nut bunnies. Sorry, Holly, I'm still used to this talking, typing thing. What I was going to say was, hi, hon, how you doing? How's the investigation going? Are you at that place that you were talking about going to that you're going to be gone for 10 days because you wanted to see if it was haunted? Is that where you're at? I know that's a mouthful. You think about that a minute. This is my cat, Kalika. I am talking to some other viewers that may hopefully fall upon this sometime. So you'll like this story, Holly. So you couldn't have timed it any better. Not investigating yet. Don't leave until Friday. Okay. Well, I'll definitely light a candle for you, hun, and make sure you get there safe and everything and that everything's okay, because I don't want nothing to happen to you. You're my peeps now, you guys, because at least you're one YouTuber that, comes to my live streams. Yay! I would say happy Mabon, but it was yesterday, so. And please don't, I can't do the ritual again. I can't say the words again. I did that ritual 4 times yesterday. Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate that. You bet, hun. Mwah. Anytime. And if Paul or Shay want some extra help, like magic wise, protection wise, or whatever, they're having a bad day, have one of them, drop me a comment or something on one of my videos, or maybe even do it through you if that's okay. And I will light a candle for them, and I will ask them to be blessed with whatever it is they need, because they're my peeps too. I was talking about a Lilith story, and yes, I'm talking about the Queen of Hell, or what a lot of people perceive as the Queen of Hell. Very real happening. This really, really happened. This definitely falls into the paranormal and supernatural for sure. Okay, so I'll tell it again because I don't know how much of it you heard. Didn't know you were live. Yeah. I'm sorry. It took me a minute before I out of the corner of my eye, I saw the screen moving. I'm like, what? It made me look. So I'm glad. Okay. Oh, Lilith, definitely the Queen of Hell. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. That's my sister right there. Mwah. You, not Lilith. You, not Lilith. I wouldn't want her as a sister. I got one that's very much like her. I'll explain that one in a minute. So in this dream, Holly, it was an astral plane kind of thing. In this dream, I saw myself on an elevator. The elevator was going down. I didn't feel afraid. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't afraid. I didn't feel threatened or anything, right? So the elevator's going down. Doors opened. Came out, there was like a little hallway. It kind of looked like a hotel in a way, or like a place that you would go to watch a show, like one of the grand theaters from way back, that kind of place. Right in front of it, when I got off the elevator, there was this little section here, hallway, didn't even look in any direction. Right in front, though, on the other side of the hallway was another door. So I opened the door, went down a small flight of steps, came around a corner, and it looked like a dressing room to me. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's a celebrity, coming in to say hi, how you doing? In which case I would have been like, hey, what's up? In front of when I came around the corner and came into the room, there was this huge mirror that literally took up an entire wall. In front of that mirror was like a counter space, kind of like where you would like do your makeup or do your hair or whatever, and a high back chair that is something that you would see in the Victorian era is the best way to put it. And now I got to try and keep my voice down because my husband just went to bed and it's 10 after 1. So in the morning. High back chair, color of blood, metal studs around the top, down the sides, around the bottom, the cushion, same thing. Studs all around. I think the arms were cloth. No, they were probably the same material, but blood red. Okay. Blood red. The chair was facing the mirror. I did not see anybody in that mirror. Blood red, dressing room, glitz and glamour. Ah, everything's okay. And then the chair spun around slowly. And there was this beautiful little girl. Absolutely a dream, like an angel by perfection, for sure. Long black hair, big crimson or black bow or something. I think it was crimson, blood red in her hair, blood red dress. And she was beautiful. She was absolutely stunning. And it is my experience, and I'm sure you will agree with this, that demons can appear like children. The only thing missing with this chick was the black eyes, okay? Straight up. She would be at the top of the flippin' list of black-eyed children. She would be their mom, okay? I was not afraid of her. I was like, why am I here? Why did you summon me? What's going on? I don't remember a lot of the conversation, but what stood out to me was this. She made a comment. I'm not wearing the ring now, but I usually would wear it on this pinky. It's a garnet ring of mine. Very special to me. I had it on this finger in the dream. Okay. The jewelry that I fall asleep that my body is wearing, I very rarely will see in a dream, if ever. Okay. So I had my garnet ring on. It had like 7 stones, I think, or something like that. It was real pretty. I'll show it to you sometime on the camera. She started talking to me. And I think I did say something in the realm of, why am I here? Why did you summon me? So she just kind of sidetracked that a little bit, kind of sidestepped it. And then she commented on my ring. She said, oh, you have such pretty rings. Because most times I wear 4. I wear 2 and 2. I don't know why. It feels right to me, I guess. And she said, especially this one. And she was pointing to the garnet ring. And she said, because it looks like blood. Why do you wear it? And I was like this close to this kid's face. I am not kidding. And I said, for God. Her eyes got big and about fell out of their head. And I was out of there and bam, bam, nothing flat. Cold chills. That's your confirmation, people. I'm telling the truth. I know you wouldn't. I'm not calling you a liar. Some would, because remember, there may be others, hopefully, that will see this video, this live footage. So what do you think about that one? Pretty awesome, huh? You're like, what? Yeah. So that was the Lilith test. I passed it, I guess, because I didn't feel threatened. 2, I had no reason to fear her. And I was not afraid to stand my ground in her presence. And I had no reason to say, I know who you are, Lilith. I was like, okay, let's play her game. Let's see what she's up to. I was out of there like, bam, right now, girlfriend, done. Yeah, the Lilith, I call it the Lilith experience because, man, it was a whopper. For God, and her eyes went, like somebody threw holy water on her. It was adorable. I think it's very interesting, but I think my perception of the dream state is different from yours. Yes. What helps me to know that it was real? It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, I could probably try to, but I don't know if I would do a very good job. I knew it was real. I can tell the dreams from when I'm actually at a place. I think it's part of the I call it the multi-plane traversing that I do, because sometimes I can do it in my head where I'm walking around fully awake, getting on with my day. Other times I can do it in a meditative state, but that one's always the hardest to acquire because I'm usually at home. And if I don't have roaches and bed bugs crawling all over me, I got my cat getting in my face, and you know how that is. Yesterday went well, though. Mabon was great. Me and my sister Maria were the only ones that attended. A mystery person from Winding Road Coven was supposed to show up, but never did. So I don't know if they just didn't know the park well enough. It's not real. What I mean is that I tend to perceive dreams as messages about our life state. Oh, yeah. I can agree. Bugs. See what I mean? I think my life state at that time then must have been pretty strong, spiritually, because I had no fear of her. I knew exactly who she was, and it was only the one experience, only the one time, and it never happened again. But the dressing room looking room that we were in, I remember it was kind of small. It wasn't like really big or anything. Oh yeah, you can if you want, but I understand what you're saying, but go ahead. Because yeah, I have definitely been in some pretty dark places, believe me, in my life. Yeah, for sure. I've had some really scary ones, scary life experiences and stuff. So some of them, to be honest, I'm really surprised that I even survived them. Elevator going down equals delving into the subconscious. Wait for the next one, please. Okay, yeah. I see that. You're right. Absolutely. Dream. You're talking about dream symbology and interpretation. Mirrors equal reflections of ourselves, how we see ourselves. Well, in that case, it was either I did not see myself at all in the mirror, and I didn't even know that Lilith was in the chair until it slowly turned around by itself, and there she was. Okay, go ahead. Elevator going down equals delving into the subconscious. Okay. Dressing room equals wearing a disguise, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that because, okay, in that respect, let's say, obviously, this was a demon. To me, this was a demon. And it could very well, maybe she was simply, part of the dark side of me or something, possibly. The beautiful little girl in the mirror was a representation of you. Yeah, and I didn't see myself in the mirror till she turned around, so I thought I was invisible. I didn't feel like I was being seen by others. And I have low self-esteem, so yeah, that I don't consider myself beautiful. I do now, but not in the like vanity sense or anything like that. So yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. There had to be a time in your life at that age where you felt beautiful. Absolutely. That would have probably been a childhood memory that I have, that actually happened. You disassociated from yourself in the dream mirror. You saw the little girl as being someone other than yourself. Yep, I can see that. I can see that too. And, now I guess maybe I'm finally at the stage in my life where I understand that now. I can make the associations where once I could not. There was a time in my childhood when my mom she would make me dresses. Like she would literally, there was two distinct dresses that she made for me. I remember them crystal clear as if they were sitting here right next to me. One of them was sleeveless, I think. It was bright yellow. It had a big ruffle about midway like about midway across my thighs down. And I think she had some kind of a white bow that either she tied on or it was sewn on. The other one was, it had a certain type of, the best way to describe it is, it was a type of a fan sleeve. It was made of a material that had fish all over it. It's absolutely stunning. The major color in the background of the material was white, and then the fish were like different colors and stuff. Mostly like oranges and browns and something like maybe koi fish, maybe, or goldfish. I'm not sure. Both of those dresses, I absolutely felt my most beautiful in. And I was a child at that time because I was, I think, like around 10 years old or something like that. So yeah, that makes sense. I have trouble from time to time still about believing that I'm beautiful because of my weight and everything. Can't help myself. I've studied dream symbology and analysis for too many years. Teach me, woman. I used to be really good at dream interpretation. Now I'm frickin' backsliding. It's part of my nature to analyze first instead of take into consideration that there might be a different aspect to it, e.g. encounter with spirit. Yeah, I absolutely agree. You got to teach me. Because I'm telling you, man, I've been trying to bring my dream interpretation ability back, but I just can't. There's too much, there's still too much stress, like off and on in our lives. So how's everybody else doing? Enough about me and all my stuff that went on. Things okay? I mean, are you, oh, that's right. You said you didn't leave till Friday. So things okay at home? Everybody good? I'm surprised you're up this late, because it's one after one here. So it's what, after like 11 or 12 or something like that there? Just do this with your dreams. Look at everything as a representation of some aspect of your own life. Okay, I get that. All is good here, thanks. I should be in bed. I have to work tomorrow. Okay, hun. If you got to go, it's okay. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses to Paul and Shay and Megan and Robin, even though I haven't met them yet. And your Wolf Paranormal crew. Oh, you can't sleep? Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Kind of one of those nights, huh? Well, I mean, I don't know how much, I mean, I can try and stay up with you a little bit. I mean, I told my husband that I was coming to bed shortly, but sometimes, like I said, I have witch hours. Sleep is denying me right now. I hate those nights. I'm telling you, like some nights I go to bed, I'm so wiped out. Oh my heavens. I lay in bed for 3 or 4 hours trying to fall asleep. Yeah, I think it's because my husband isn't home. Oh, is he working or something? A job somewhere? Or why isn't he at home if it's okay to ask? There isn't any, you said, I mean, there isn't any like spirits messing with you. But I won't be able to relax until he gets in the door. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I can imagine that that's probably some of the stuff that goes through Chris's mind when I've been gone from 3 to 7. He went out on a hike in the mountains. Ooh, wow. Oh, man, I've always wanted to do that, but I would have to be in serious shape to pull that one off. I'd break my fool neck. It's a long drive, and he gets tired easily. Oh, okay, I hear you. Well, here, let me do this. Remember, I told you I can do stuff on the fly. Okay, here, this one's for you and him. God and Goddess, hear my plea. Do now what I ask of thee. Please come forth in this time and help Holly's husband to get home safely and quickly. and help him to have the wakefulness he needs to get there safely and quickly. So be it. How's that for on the fly? I'm good. I love on the fly because sometimes the simplest ones can pack the most punch. And I'll even do an extra. May the light of God and Goddess surround him. May the love of God and Goddess enfold him. May the power of God and Goddess protect him. May the presence of God and Goddess watch over him. Wherever he is, they will be also. He is safe, and you are welcome, my dear. Okay. Holly, you're better. You guys have been doing this paranormal thing a little bit longer. Please tell me that you just saw a flash go past the screen. Am I imagining things? This time it looked red and white. That makes 3. I'm telling you, girls, something's going on. I don't think it's anything bad, but I'm telling you, whatever this energy is, first it showed up over here, and it kind of looked like it was going, doop, doop, I'm here, hello, goodbye. I saw that, yes. I thought that was a cat. Here's the thing. See, okay, you're going to see my finger for a minute. Right here is, okay, watch. Okay, see how you can only see my finger? That is the camera lens. I thought one of the cats was passing the screen and the tail swished by. Sorry. Spirits. Spirit activity. Sorry. Spirit activity. No, because if it was Kalika, she would have to be behind me. Because when the first image or the first white light mist or whatever they call it appeared here earlier in the live stream, it just kind of went doop, doop. And I was like, what the, and I saw it out on my peripheral vision. Second time, it went swish, swish, kind of like it went this way and then back. And that time, second time, it was white. And this third time, it was red and white. How could it be Kalika when she's on the other side of the camera? Cats passing in front of your screen. No, because the only way they would be able to pass in front of my screen is if they were on this side. No joke. Cool. Now that, my dear, is probably some of the best manifestations I've seen so far. Like I said, most of the time, I'm trying to bring my voice down because Chris said I'm getting loud. I usually see them in the dining room. And that seems to, because it's dark in there, paint me pink and call me Miss Piggy. Yeah. You got it, honey. I love Miss Piggy. She's my fave. She is so beautiful. Oh, man. And I've had some interesting dreams about her, too. That was fun. Long time ago, back in my youth. I used to have a Miss Piggy hand puppet. So there you go. How about that? You saw a manifestation, and that makes 3 for me. Yesterday, I went to the park. It's called Whitehall Park, and it's very close to where I live, maybe about 15 minutes or so drive, not that bad. Oh yeah, me too. Oh, you would love my King Frog statue then, because he's like, let's see if I can gauge him from here. He's about that tall, in the neighborhood of that tall. And I also have a tall doll in a clear plastic little case that she came with of Princess Diana in the dark blue off-the-shoulder dress she wore. She's got sapphire and pearl necklace around her neck, and she's got the pearl and sapphire earrings to match. So in the future, I'll try to get my Frog King, and I'll try to, put them on so you can see them. But right now, it would be too hard to get to the altar because it's a cluster, F-U-C-K, if you know what I mean. So anyway, yesterday, me and Maria went to the park, And it was really nice. It was kind of cloudy. It was supposed to rain, and it did kind of rain off and on. But I asked the goddess before I even sat up circle and started casting. I said, Goddess, I said, please, please, please. This is Mabon. This is a big deal for me. This is the first time that I finally decided to come out and do it in a park, which I've wanted to do forever and ever and ever. I wanted to be the host this time because most of the time, the only magic ritual type things I get invited to is on the occasion when Winding Road Coven invites me to one of theirs. And the last one they invited me to was Lunasaw. And before that one, I'm talking there was like a 3 or 4 year span of not hearing from them at all. I tried to get into the coven once, but there was a breakdown in communication. And then as I thought about it more and more, I thought, you know what? It's okay. Because, I mean, heck, I'm skilled enough. I could have my own coven, and I would love to start my own. I know Maria would sign up. She'd be like first in line. She was the only one that went with me today. And there was like a mystery person. I don't know if you heard that part earlier, that from Winding Road that was supposed to show up, but they may not have known the layout of the park that we were in. Therefore, there's an upper main level of the park, and then there's a lower level of the park. Now, the lower level you can get down to 2 ways. A staircase that's 50 steps down. I counted them. And then it puts you in the little shelter house where we were at. Yes, I got video footage. I'm going to have my husband put it on here sometime, hopefully here soon. I have to catch him in the right mood. Because, I mean, I know he gets bombarded with a lot of other stuff and gets caught up in his projects just like we all do. And you can drive down. There is, when you enter the park, you would have to go off in some way that I could try to explain, but it would just confuse you. But there is literally a road, because I saw cars drive down and up it all day, and we were there from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. I wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to have been, but I can't expect to be professional really, in the sense that even though I've been doing the whole POTC thing as long as I have, I haven't really done, I mean, I've done some considerable videos, obviously, but live streams are my absolute favorite. And I also have another member, my daughter-in-law, Brooke, who's in England. So she is very much British. Love her to bits. She is my oldest son, Michael's fiance. And she is trying to save back money to come to the States. So I hope she makes it. And I'm sure she will. And she texted me yesterday and said they're lifting the borders starting November. So it'll be even easier for her to get over here. Because once she comes over, she's going to have some money with her. And it should be more than enough to get her into a place of her own. Try to make that place as close to us as possible. I already have 2 in mind that might work. Like one of them is literally, you could go out the front door of our building, cross the street, go down about 2 blocks, if that, and on the left, there's an apartment complex. It used to be Mayfair Apartments, but now it's named something else. So apparently they have new management, or they just decided to change their name for whatever reason. Those are garden apartments. And I don't know if you've ever seen a garden apartment. I don't know that I have. But some of the units they have there, if they are available, literally have built-in bookshelves in the walls. And I think there's only maybe one really, kind of like what we would call a knick-knack shelf. Some of us might use it as a knick-knack shelf. But both types of units have storage space. But the one that I most would have liked to have gotten is the one that had the bookcases built in. and they were asking over $600 a month in rent, and you had to be making, I think they said, at least $1,000 a week and be able to prove that you were before they would even consider you. So they're what I call the hoity-toity, fancy smancy. Okay, if you want to charge that ridiculous amount, then you're not going to get a good tenant like me, because I can understand their fear that in a neighborhood like the one we live, they have to make their requirements very strict to hopefully weed out and keep the druggies from going in and taking the place over, because you know how that usually goes. So anyway, so yeah, cool manifestations. I saw 3, and one of them you and I shared together. So I would consider that a good day, and the perfect like bonus to the really nice Mabon ceremony that we both had yesterday. And I know that if at all possible, I know like if it was you doing it, I would definitely want to be there. So yeah, it would have been awesome if you and Paul and Shay could have been there. It would have been so fun. We would probably get 1 million views. 3 is a power number in our circles. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So it's like, ooh, yummy, yummy, to my tummy. What's the honey? The spirits are here. Oh, I also wanted to let you know, dear, that since you like my Holy Mother of Wow, feel free to use it anytime. All I ask is make sure you let people, if they ever ask, where did you come up with that? Janelle. Tell them my friend Janelle. She said it, and I thought it was cool. It just came to me one day, popped into my head. So I'm like, oh, I guess the goddess likes this, so I'm going to use it. Oh, you would like my other one, Nut Bunnies. I did that. I said that one a long time ago. I did it to like quite a few people. When I get to my first location on Friday, I'll probably try to do a live stream from the room. Okay, cool. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, hotel room. Man, I'll tell you, it's very frustrating and disappointing for me because a very short drive away from my location now, there's a Days Inn that charges $80 a night. They have a bar inside their lobby. They have a man-made running stream, and they have a fully assembled crop plane, it looks like to me, on a landing. I'm like, whoa. The one time that I walked into the lobby of that room, of that hotel, I fell in love with it. I have been looking for a very long time, and so far the closest to home that I've been able to find, yeah, it's beautiful. You know what a tiki bar looks like, right? Like something you would see in like a Hawaii or something like that. There's a tiki bar. There's literally a tiki bar in the middle of their lobby. No joke. I was like, oh, I so want to stay here. And oh man, they had skylights. There was beautiful sunlight just pouring into the place. And I was like, oh man. Yeah. So I walked up to the front desk and I asked one of the tenants that was behind the counter, how much is it a night? $80. And I thought, cool. But then I thought, wait a minute, 80 times 3. Because I would like to have a place close to home that, if need be, Chris could drive to. If he had to take the car because he had an appointment or something, he could take the car. And when I was ready to check out and come home, I would. Because my plan has always been to go in on a Friday and not come home until like Monday morning, before checkout. which most places is 11 o'clock or whatever. So, but then I made the mistake of telling them that I was local. Then my brain kicked in and said, Janet, as ridiculous as this may sound, they have their reasons. Think about the area that they are across from. They are across from a very bad area, just like the one that we live in. There's a trailer court that is across the street from them that I have heard from people who have known people that have actually lived there, that that place is a death trap. If you're stupid enough to venture there, don't be surprised if you get blown away, because you never know when somebody whacked out on some kind of drugs is going to go trigger happy and start shooting up anything and everything in their sight. And if you're driving through there trying to score something, you could get shot. So this guy tells me, when I told him that I was local, that I would have to put, I think he said I would have to literally pay up front $300. Okay. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I can see that, because if I'm going to stay for 3 nights, 80 times 3 is, 300 roughly. I would take my own food as much as I could reasonably take. I would try to make sure and get a room that had like a microwave in it. Maybe a mini fridge would be nice. And, because it don't have to be a five-star hotel to impress me or make me feel like, oh yeah, I got to stay here. It was beautiful. And when you see it on the outside, you're like, ew. So the outside don't look very good. But when you walk inside, it's like, oh, I so want to stay here. But he showed me a sign that was on the counter to my left. Then he proceeded to work with a client that was getting ready to check in. So I left him alone and I started reading it. And I think it was maybe a way that he explained it, that it sounded to me like his demands were unreasonable, that he made it feel like not only would I have to pay $300 down right then and there, but I would have to pay $300. I don't know if he said $300, was it a month, a week? I don't know. It was so quick. But when I read the sign, I didn't like what it said. Okay, now what I meant when I said the closest place that I've been able to find to home, but it's not exactly in my price range easily, and it's called Ravenwood Castle. It is a bed and breakfast. It's a medieval Maine castle looking building. It has its own little village of several other, like you will love the Silversmith Cottage. I'm just telling you now. It's pink. And they have a heart-shaped hot tub in it. So yeah, color me there in my bathing suit with the friend in their bathing suit, sitting there enjoying the hot water and getting the therapy and the massage. Beautiful rooms. They have a area called the Huntsman's Hollow that has 5 cabins. 3 of the 5 are $139 a night. So for 2 nights, you're roughly paying around the $300 or so range anyway. If you eat there, well, obviously that's going to add on to the bill. Screened in porch. You can sit out there, enjoy the nature around you. Look it up. People get married there. I got to stay in the Rapunzel Tower room. You definitely ought to check that one out because I think you'd like it. I only got to stay in there once, and it was for my croning ceremony. And I was there alone. I didn't have any friends with me. I wanted to do it alone, and I was only able to stay for 1 night, though. So you can check in after 3 p.m. most days. If you're going to stay for more than 1 day, then you have to pay half of the price as you book the room on the phone or online. Then you don't have to pay the other half until you get there and walk in the door and go up to the rental office. which the rental office is also the gift shop, which they have t-shirts, they have some ornaments you can get, they have mugs, they have goblets, they have beer glasses. You would love it. Trust me, you would love it. I've only got to go 3 times. The last time me and Maria went, we were there for 2 days and 2 nights. And like I said, it cost like, I know it was like somewhere in the $300 range or something like that. Excuse me. And Ravenwood Castle is just under 2 hours away from where I am now. Once you see it, and better yet, once you actually physically go there, you don't want to leave. They have a huge kitchen. It's huge to me. And lots of counter space. They make really good food. I got a King Arthur burger there once. The thing was like that thick. Yeah, it is. The cabins, the ones that are $139 a night, you can take your kids because they do have a loft, and the loft has a staircase, and you could fit, depending on the size of the kid, you could fit between 2 and 4 kids in that loft. I'm not kidding. The 2 other cabins, the 2 of the 5, are $10 more because of the position and angle that they face. And one of them, literally, not only would you have a beautiful screened-in porch to sit on and enjoy, but you would be sitting in front of the wooden bridge that they built themselves. Somebody did, somebody they contracted or whatever. And if you go across that wooden bridge, there's water underneath. There's literally a creek running through it. And me and Maria, we just sat there on the porch and just took it all in and enjoyed the ambiance. We were out of the city. The place is amazing. It has an aura about it that you immediately fall in love with as soon as you set foot on the grounds. And get this, in the backyard where the main castle building is, they have a Pan statue, and it ain't a little one. Pan himself is about the size of a toddler sitting down. The pedestal, that which is the base that his statue sits on, is in the middle of a miniature maze, and I have actually seen photographs in the past where people have gotten married in front of that statue. Now tell me that ain't the witch's dream. During my croning ceremony, I finally went back there because they have like benches that you can sit on right there by the maze. It's not a real maze. It's just meant to look like one, and Pan is at the center, so you can't even touch him. I would love to have that statue. Yes, I know. And I have video footage. Go to, I think it's on this channel. Go to the very first video I did. I'm wearing a blue leopard print hat. It's got leopard print, black and brown around the brim, and then the top is like a sky blue. You see that picture, it should say Ravenwood. Click on them because I think there's at least 2. And on my other channel, I want to say, I'm pretty sure it's on my other channel, the Janet Mabius one. I don't remember like how many videos you'd have to go through to see it, or just like, keep doing the arrow until you got to the right one. But I actually have video footage, I think, of one of the cabins that I got to stay in. It was cabin 401. They have a fire pit in the Huntsman's Hollow and wooden swings, handmade, in a circle around the fire pit. So if you want to have a fire out there some night, you have to tell them at the main castle building, and they will bring one of their staff down that's really good at starting the fire. Absolutely, hun. It's worth it. And here's another thing, too, with the cabins, you can take up to 4 people and they don't charge you extra. They don't charge you per person. You can take up to 4 and it's only $139 a night if you get one of the 3 that's that price. Just look up Ravenwood Castle and it'll show you. It's awesome, hun. Believe me, when you see it, you'll be like, oh, we got to go there. We got to go there. We got to go there. And a bonus, 30 minutes from the castle is Moonville Tunnel. Moonville Tunnel is a hotspot for paranormal. It used to be a part of a community one time, I don't know how many years back. There have been several deaths in the tunnel. It used to be a train tunnel. And one of the spirits there that's a hell of a good deal. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Not that I can travel across the border, but it's still nice to think about. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I know that's kind of like the thing right now. A lot of borders are closed, because of the COVID stuff flying around and killing people left and right. It's ridiculous. But Moonville Tunnel, you can look that up too. It'll tell you some of the history of it. And in my Janet Mabius channel, when you look at the top, you'll see the vlogs, you'll see the live streams, and below it, you should see my playlist. I think you would like the Hecate one. It's only got 8 on it, but it's not a paranormal investigation. It's strictly Hecate music. Hey, honey, I'm right there with you. I don't want to get the shots either. My husband, he had to. With his health conditions and his breathing issues especially, he had to. Because if he would have got COVID, it would have killed him. And pretty quick. For non-medical people to demand access to medical records. Yeah. Yep. And I won't get the shots. And I know a lot of people that don't want to get them either. I try to take every reasonable precaution that I can. I am strong in my faith and the Lord and Lady and my spirit family that I'm not going to get it. And nobody I love and care about is going to get it. My son Michael did have it, but he had it for a very brief time because as soon as I found out he had it, and when I could stop crying long enough to do a spell to help him for 3 weeks solid, Holly, 3 weeks solid, I did healing magic and I focused on my son. I was so terrified when he got it because he's in Marion Correctional Institute. And I was terrified. I cried and cried and cried. And I'm like, oh no, not my son, not my son, not my son, please, not my son. Do not take him from me this way. Designed to take care of these seasonal illnesses. I choose natural immunity over an experiment gene therapy drug. I agree. A drug that's being passed off as a vaccine. Oh yeah. I know, man. Like, I'm pretty sure that the one my husband ended up getting he got the Moderna one. And I think my sister Maria, she got the Moderna one because she has diabetes. So I think part of it was a requirement of work that she had to get vaccinated or she couldn't come back to work. She's 62 years old. She's got diabetes. Her sight is bad. Her hearing's bad. She suffered a stroke many years ago, way before I met her, with one of her kids, either while she was pregnant for him or shortly after she had him. And it really messed her up. In the future, I will have her on a live stream. And even though she may not be comfortable to show herself on camera, you'll hear her voice. and you'll understand the challenge that it is for me to. I love her to bits. She's the best sister I could ever ask for, honestly. She's here in my building, and I mean, she doesn't really have anybody. Her kids don't hardly come and see her. They don't even try phone contact with her much. It's really sad, uh, and she's very hurt by it. But I said, "Well, sis," I said, "I'm sorry that things are like that, but you've got me." And I mean, I have my own struggles that I go through every day with my daughter Alicia because I don't see her a lot. I get it. She's 24. She's trying to live her life. What kind of mother would I be if I said, "No, you're not allowed to live your life until you give me some time? Give me some more of your time, effort, and energy." She's doing what she loves. She's doing what she's passionate about. And I just wish that I could do it right there at her side, but I can't. The money and the resources just isn't there. Because I think I mentioned this last time. If I didn't, I can't remember, but she works at the Ohio Renaissance Festival in Waynesville. And she's there like every weekend. She's very diligent. She's very committed. And she is a wood nymph named Jinx. And she's got yellow skin, makeup, of course, black hair, big ram's horns, black nails. She wears like a pink vest. And I mean, she's absolutely adorable. Okay. Yeah. See, no, I don't dote on my daughter. Why would I do that? Um, she's my only daughter. I mean, aside from Brooke, of course, but Alicia's my only biological. And I just wish I could, have more of her time. I wish I could be more in her life, but I just haven't found the way to do that without feeling like I'm cramming myself down her throat, which has been done to her entire life by the entire Feinstein family because her biological dad, his last name's Feinstein. So it's not been a fun ride, I'll tell you that. And I was really proud of myself because I didn't smoke any of my pagan mix. I didn't even take it with me when I went and did ritual because I wanted to be clear-headed. Yeah, so see, there you go. Here we are relating again. How about that? I love it. I have to literally keep screwing this thing completely shut. I didn't used to have to do that, but oh, this is a fun little tidbit. This is a leather mug. Maria got it for me from Renfest. Her and I and Chris went opening day, but the inside of it is coated with paraffin. So the only drawback is you can only drink cold liquids in it. If you put hot in it, the paraffin will melt, and then your mug's pretty much ruined. Yeah. So back to my daughter and knowing what she's been through with the Feinstein family. Very few will understand this when I say Alicia was not a human being around that family as much as she was their trophy. I don't say that to her in an insulting manner at all. She even understood when I explained to her one time what I meant by that statement. Ever since she was a baby, the Feinstein family have cut me out of the raising of her. Adam took her away from me when she was 2, that whole deal. So I have literally missed out on 22 years of her life. Missed out on things that, as her mother alone, I should have had the right to be a part of, but was never allowed to be. Donald Feinstein, who is in the spirit world now, he passed, but he was Adam's adopted father. Jewish, very rich. He had a condo on the 17th floor in the middle of downtown Columbus, to give you an idea. It was like a penthouse. It was a penthouse. I only got to see it once. But when Alicia would be forced, because it was always by force, never at her choosing, when she was forced to go spend time with Sheila, who was the lady that was married to Donald when they got Adam. So that makes Sheila technologically Alicia's grandmother. Alicia, she would have to wear the clothes that Sheila bought her. She would have to take a shower and let Sheila do her hair, even if she didn't need it done. She wasn't allowed to be herself. The Feinsteins, sadly, a lot of them are all about money, status, and power. If you have the money, you have the power. If you have the power, you have the status. And Donald Feinstein thinks that his caca don't stink. My daughter hated him. Absolutely hated him. So much so that even though he left her supposedly this big, grand inheritance, she still has yet to get any of that money. And I couldn't even tell you at this point how long the sucker's been gone, because I really don't care. Alicia, in her own way of expression, which I laughed my butt off and loved every second of it, it will never leave my brain. When Donald was alive, one of the spices that he absolutely detested was cilantro. So, after Donald passed away, Alicia decided to very physically show him exactly how she felt about him, and not a good way. She took an entire bottle of cilantro and dumped it on his grave. And I was like, yes, you go, girl, because he deserved it. I do not make light of such statements. That man destroyed my daughter, and he was only one of many. And now the mess that she is today is, it's like she's in 1,000 pieces and she's scattered all over the floor. And all I want to try to do is be the glue to put her back together, but I don't know how. I told her one time, I don't know how to be your mom, but she didn't fully understand what I was saying. And I got very emotional and started crying because it was breaking my heart. Because I have been cheated out of so much of her life. Because the Feinsteins have always felt me unworthy of her. Oh, I'm only her mom. I'm only the one that brought her into the world. And if your son would have married somebody else and had a daughter, it wouldn't be Alicia. It would be somebody else. If you don't have the money, status, and power that they require you to have, then you are a worthless POS, and you're not worth any of their time, effort, energy, and definitely not worth any of their money. Not worth a kind word. Hey, Janet, I know things are tough for you right now. I'm sorry that we are at such odds, but for Alicia's sake, can we please just get along? Donald's first impression of me was probably the most hurtful. And this tells you the kind of guy he was. When me and Adam were together, I no longer had my Barbie doll figure anymore. I was chunky, far less than I am now, but I was chunky. But then so was Donald. His belly stuck out so much he could play Santa Claus without having to put so much as a single pillow in his shirt. No joke. So he had room to talk, right? When he met me, he put on the false front that he treated me with courtesy and kindness. But it was an act, because how he really felt about me, Adam told me later when I was nowhere around Donald. Because I'm pretty sure that Donald knows that my reaction would not have been a friendly one. When Adam asked his dad what he thought of me, well, she's kind of chunky, ain't she? Don't have sex in the house. And, I mean, he basically looked on me as scum because I'm poor. He never tried to get to know me as a person. He never for 1 second believed that I was worthy of his son, because I didn't have the money. I didn't have the status. I didn't have the power. And I wasn't a rich little Jewish bitch, no offense to the good Jews of the world, that had a Barbie doll figure that would make Donald just preen. Oh, look how special my boy is. He's got this beautiful girl, and she's Jewish, and she's rich, and man, would I like to bang her. The two women that Donald was married to, at different times, of course, but they both had looks, money, status, power, Barbie doll figure. Both of them. And don't even get me started on what his second wife did, because to this day, I want to do the same thing to her. But I would add enclosure by grabbing the back of her hair and slamming it into the sink as hard as I could one time. When Alicia was a little girl, and it was during that time when she had no say if she wanted to go somewhere or not. If Donald Feinstein demanded it, she had to go. So Donald and his new bride, Mabon, went to Costa Rica. They demanded that Alicia come and be with them. Mabon saw fit to hold my daughter's head under a cold running faucet for at least 20 minutes because she wasn't satisfied that Alicia's hair was clean enough. She abused my daughter. When my daughter told me, I wanted to kill her. I wanted to hire somebody to kill her if I could, to get rid of that biatch that did such an atrocity against my daughter and had no right to. So the Feinsteins are the classic rich Jewish family that you absolutely want to avoid at all costs, because they give the good Jews of the world a bad name. My daughter, in the spirit of learning and educating herself with her dad's chosen beliefs of Judaism over anything magical, anything pagan, anything Wiccan. Sorry, itchy nose. He had to jump through their hoops. He had to believe in their beliefs. He refused to do so. So Adam wasn't always treated the kindest by the Feinsteins either. So, because of what the Feinstein family put my daughter through and the things that they were always forcing her to do against her will, not only did it break her, but it shook her up, spit her out, drew and quartered her, buried her 40 million places in the world, and yeah, there's like nothing left. She gets depressed very easily. Like I've said before, I know I did say that she has clinical depression like Chris. I have to watch what I say and I have to watch how I say it because I don't know what is going to trigger her and in a negative, hurtful way. And I don't want to do that because it's been done to her entire life. Um, Alicia has achieved in her short years of 24 age, she has done things I could only ever dare to dream of doing, but it just never happened. She knows how to sail a boat. She knows how to run a boat. And I'm not saying literally a sailboat. She knows how to do it all as if she was a sailor on a big ship. She has gone whitewater rafting. She has done ballet. She has done various plays during her high school time. Uh, she used to sleep at her school building at night because she didn't want to go home to her dad. Funny how he never seemed to really even try to look for her. So either she was convincing enough that she was staying with a friend, so he never looked into it. But she told me one time that, yeah, I used to sleep at my school. I'm like, what? I'm like, how did you pull that one off? And better yet, why? What was the reason? I didn't want to go home to dad. And I'm like, oh, honey. She would literally sleep under the stage. She had her own little cubby space back there and probably had like a sleeping bag or, had some comfort things, And my daughter always had this really weird habit that I never really figured out, but I think it's kind of cool. And it's part of what makes her special and unique. She used to use her closet in her bedroom as her bedroom. Like she would sleep in there. She would put her dolls with her and different little, other things that she had acquired during her life. Um, but she liked to sleep in closets. Um, yeah, I've heard of kids doing that. It's a safety zone. Yes, exactly. And I think that's kind of what the school was for her. It was a safety zone. She felt totally safe there. I don't know if her school was haunted, but being a paranormal investigator, I'd sure like to find out. Um, the name of her school was really weird though. I can never remember it. It's in Dublin, and their high school icon is a 4-leaf clover or something like that, 3-leaf clover, something like that. Um, so yeah, it was a safety zone. She felt safe there. And I mean, I saw her closet at this condo that she lived at with her dad for a while. Her room was nice, it had nice carpet. Um, it had, the closet was big enough. I think it had like bi level shelves, like different, so she could set stuff up here and up here. And then she would just have her little bed right there. Um, She used to come over to my place here when she was little, and when she'd want to spend the night or spend the weekend. And you know me, I mean, I ate it up every time. She liked to sit in my closet. So I'm surprised that I didn't wake up some morning and see her in the closet sleeping. Um, she's an indigo child, by the way. I don't know if you know much about indigo children, but I'm one of myself. All of my kids are. Some of the lore states that indigo children are highly developed, highly evolved, highly gifted children from the day of birth. Alicia has literally been taking care of herself since she was 4. No joke. Adam would work all day and leave her there alone. No adults with her, no supervision. He taught her how to cook, he taught her how to entertain herself, and he would just go off and work all day and maybe come home sometime that night. A child at the age of 4 should never be put in that situation. And I'm the bad parent. That's how they made me feel. They made me feel like I was just the baby machine that popped her out. I have outlived my usefulness. I can just go away now. Yeah. Um, 4 years old, and he would leave her alone all day long by herself. And it terrified me when she finally told me about it. I said he did what? I wanted to kill him. Metaphorically speaking, of course, but I wanted to kill him because you don't do that to a 4-year-old child. And as a mother, you and I can both go, oh my God, what was that idiot thinking? Exactly. That's illegal. Here in Canada, we call that child abandonment. It's a felony. Exactly. Exactly. Any number of things could have gone wrong. Any number of things could have happened to my daughter, and she wouldn't have had anybody there to save her. And he would come home and find her dead. And then that's when you're going to see me go bye-bye, because I'm going to die with her, because I don't want to live in a world where my daughter is not. Because it's bad enough that I have been cheated out of 22 years of her life. I will never get those back. And now I feel like I'm stuck with picking up the pieces, and she won't even let me try. That I'm trying to relate to her again. I'm trying to understand her. I'm trying to find a way without feeling like I'm cramming myself down her throat of being more a part of her life. By the time she told me that story, it was too late. She was old enough that, yeah, I could have turned it into children's services and they would have yanked her out of that place so quick. But I didn't want to put her through that because all 3 of my boys went through it. And it did a number on them too. Michael, my oldest, some of the foster homes that he had the misfortune of being placed in, there were members in there that tried to kill him. All you can do is give her time, Janet. Yep. She has to come to you on her own terms. I know. I had to learn that when I went through that with my daughter. Exactly. And, I mean, at least some of what I've been able to figure out and ascertain why it's so important to me, aside from the obvious of wanting to have that kind of relationship with my daughter, because I felt like it was taken away. I feel like it was yanked from me, and I didn't deserve it, and neither did she. Um, so I just, I try to back off. I try to let her live her life. I don't want to be just one more person that's demanding anything of her. Um, Michael, some of the foster homes he was in, like I said, the kids there were really, really bad. And one of them actually, Michael told me this himself, held my son up by his throat and held him up against the wall, trying to kill him. And I know what that feels like. I know how scary and terrifying that is because my brother did the same thing to me when I was about 9 or 10. And it was because I was agitating him one day because I wanted somebody to play with. There was nobody available. He was it. Mom was gone. Naomi wasn't home. Um, that left me and Carl, and he was sweeping up the floor. And I just wanted somebody to play with. And being a little kid, I just didn't know quite how to ask him, Bubby, can you play with me a little bit? Because I don't have anybody to play with. But he apparently got so enraged by the innocence of what I had done, because to me it was innocent. He literally held me up against the refrigerator by my throat, and I thought he was going to kill me, and I started to black out. So he may have done some kind of brain damage to me or something that I don't even know about. I don't know what finally made him let go. Um, but I'm glad that something did, because my own brother was trying to kill me. And I was just a kid and I meant no harm, but he sure did. So when he finally let go of me, I basically ran up into my bedroom and hid and just kind of stayed there because I just didn't feel safe to be around him anymore. Or I would go out and decide to play on the porch or in the front yard or something. So I was as far away from him as I could possibly be. Because of how experiences have hurt me and people from my past, because they did such a number on me, I feel like I have literally died a physical death more times than anybody could ever count. Because I am deeply sensitive. Um, my deep sensitivity is a gift, but there's very few people with which I can truly share it, because I get a lot of, I get hurt way too easy sometimes, and I'm not proud of that. Um, but I wasn't exactly brought up in an ideal situation either. And I would think that Chris would understand that because his family life wasn't so great either. Um, get off me, bug. Hey, Kalika. I'm sorry, baby. I know I've been gone. I was gone all day yesterday. Well, not all day, but 3 to 7. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, like 5 hours. Um, so yeah, and I mean, many other friends and stuff have told me that too. That you just gotta let Alicia. I gotta let Alicia come to me, and I try. I try to be non-invasive, but I did figure out that a lot of the reason why it's so important to me to feel like I have a certain degree of closeness and bonding with my daughter is because of how me and my own mom have always been with each other. And now this is a different era. This is a different generation. That's not the way you do things. So I was kind of at an impasse. I didn't know what to do. And the one time I tried to explain to her but failed, that I don't know how to be your mom. I was crying when I told her that. And I wish I could have explained it better, but she got some of it right. She said, "Well, you're in my life. And I was like, yeah, I know that. I realize that. I said, honey, that's not what I'm saying. I said, I want to be able to be your friend too, at least sometimes. I mean, I know that there may be points in the future that come along where I have to be your mom, I have to be the authority, or I have to be the disciplinary or whatever. I was not the disciplinarian with my kids, because coming from a dysfunctional, broken, abusive home myself, where a lot of abuse took place, I wasn't about to become like my father and do the same to my own kids. There is a serious rage problem in my family line. Part of that, I think, comes from German, Irish, Dutch, and a host of others that I can't even begin to explain because I can't even pronounce a lot of them. I'm a mutt, basically. Um, German and Irish both have tempers. Dutch love their food, and they usually make it pretty darn good, because the Cracker Barrel and the um 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 what's that other one? The Cracker Barrel and Der Dutchman are two of my absolute favorite restaurant eatery type places to go to, because that's where I feel the closest to the heritage of the Dutch in our bloodline. I'm related to Napoleon. I'm related to Billy the Kid. I'm related to Susan Sarandon, the actress, Katie Couric, the newscaster. Uh, apparently, there's royalty in my family, and I was only able to bring up some pictures of this guy. I think his name was William something, and he looked like he was about in his 80s even then. That supposedly is who I was related to, and Jimmy Buffett, the singer, I think we determined, or something like that. But I've never met the guy. I mean, I don't even know if I've ever even heard his music. So, one of my candles, I knocked one of my candles over. So yeah, I'm a mutt, and the German and Irish, I'm sure, does not help, because those are two. That's like ramming horns. I've never taken anger management courses, but I wish I had, and I'm sure that they're probably still out there. And if I could learn the skills to manage it, maybe I could pass it on to others in the family, to where maybe they could have a more proficient life and a happier one, if they could just get a handle on the rage. It's like a loaded gun that you never know when it's going to go off. It's always loaded. Sometimes the simplest thing can set it off. Other times it takes a lot to get me to the point that not only am I cussing like a sailor nonstop, but I would make a sailor blush, because it's like the floodgates open and it comes out, bam, 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 and it just wave after wave after wave. When I can feel my rage being triggered, it scares the hell out of me, because that in itself, being a witch on top of it, and a powerful one at that, I've been doing it for 32 years. I'm a natural witch. There's probably aspects of my bloodline I don't even know about. I can only guess. I need to find out if because I'm a Hecate follower. I don't know if that makes me a Hecate witch. Do you know anything about Hecate witches? Um, there was this movie that, all the way back in the 70s and 80s, I think, is when they did it, was called Midnight Offerings. I'm Irish, Scottish, Welsh, English, and a few other things. I know the rage. I'm a slow burner. But when I blow, oh boy. Katie, bar the door. I gotcha. Katie, bar the door. The stampede's coming and people gonna get trampled. You pushed me too far. When something or someone makes me mad, you better fucking run. And you better run fast because your ass has just become grass. And baby, I'm the lawnmower. Here I come. Yep. Tell me we aren't sisters, girlfriend. You better believe we are. You don't have to be blood to truly be sisters. You know when you are. And from the first thing you said to me on Courtney and Colin's live stream, I would love to meet them. I just want to give them a big hug and kiss on the cheek and say, you know what? I'm jealous, but I hope you guys make it. I really do, because they're both so young. I don't know how old Courtney is, but Colin is like, I'm pretty sure he's like 25 right now. And I'd love to meet the spooky fam, you know? That would be like an ultimate dream to me, because Colin's videos are some of the first that I started watching on YouTube. And I was like, oh my gosh. And because he's a Capricorn, that alone makes me drawn to him. It's a lot of the commonalities, I'm sure, that we have. I admire him tremendously for doing what I would love to do, and I'm trying to do, but he's been doing it since he was 15. And even before that, Colin is 25, I believe. Courtney is 23. Okay, well, see, that's cool, because they're like, 2 years apart. Yeah, 23 or 24. Well, maybe this will help. My daughter Alicia is January 11th, 1997. So would that possibly make Courtney around her age? Like, I mean, I know that Alicia's 24 because Colin is 96, is the year he was born. And Alicia's 97, so he was born 1 year before her. That's how I can always tell. When she turns 25, that means Colin's 26. When Daniel turns 33, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, then my son Michael turns 31 or 32 or whatever. I think 32, because Michael was born in 90. Daniel was born in 89. But, you stood out right away. And I mean, my reaction was exactly this. Oh my God, someone's actually talking to me. Holy mother of wow. So I was like, hello. And it just hit off, It's like, cool. A YouTuber is finally talking to me. I think I'm going to faint now. Or I'm going to cry happy tears. I mean, I know we're not. Some of us consider ourselves celebrities. Some of us don't. I mean, I'm sure there's some YouTubers out there like, I'm not a celebrity. Yeah, you are. How many followers do you have? Yeah, you are. How many subscribers? You're a celebrity. Mm-hmm. No doubt. Oh, are you ready for this one? The live stream that you and I chatted that one night, for the first time, before I saw the live stream and the black-eyed kids and all that. The longest I think that I have really extensively run a live stream was a little over 3 hours, which it's already in that bracket. We talked and chatted for so long, dear sister, that when I looked the next day, I live streamed for 5 hours. And I was like, what? Cool. Broke the record, at least my own. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, oh, welcome to yeah, 5 hours. It was worth it. Every second, it was worth it. Absolutely, no question. You'll have to go back and look. It's in this channel that when we live stream because it'll tell you like when I started and I think when it ended. I think. Yeah, because usually how you tell when it's gonna how long it is you have to click on it and let it start playing, and then it brings up the little line that goes across, and then you know, okay, yeah, it's getting to this point, so there's about 20 minutes left, or whatever. I had to do a double take on that one. I was like, 5 hours? What? Oh, I gotta tell Holly. Just go with it. Just go with it. I do. Yay! Is it a new investigation, or is it one that you guys have been working on but you were just able to finally get up? Because I'll definitely try to go check it out maybe tomorrow sometime or later today, really. I wish I could have done the live stream. I wanted so much to be able to have you there at the park. I have to put my glass. It's stuff from 2009, 2010, some in my home. Okay. Like, I remember I saw your first live stream. It was you, Shay, and Paul. It was in your backyard at one point. I remember hearing your husband talking about the fence that he built. And you were talking about it. And he walked into a little, like, storage shed. And so I literally remember seeing him walk past the camera. And I was like, oh, there he is. That's what Holly's husband looks like. Now I can put a face with the voice at least. Ow. Trying to sit comfortably, but that's easier said than done, considering I feel like a beached whale. Not to mention how compromising it is on your health, And I'm telling you, girl, I don't know, has this ever happened to you? My left foot, only when I'm sleeping at night, so only when I'm laying down does this happen. It's always my left foot. How best to describe? Okay, imagine what your foot would feel like if the is it Japanese jumping beans or Mexican jumping beans? They actually jump because like there's something inside of them. You know what I'm talking about? Like some kind of larva or something that's alive. My entire foot, my entire left foot, kind of feels like this, like there's something going off inside. Like, is there something crawling around under my skin? What the fudge is that? And it only does it when I lay down and I'm at rest and I'm trying to sleep. I have never heard of such a thing. I don't even know how to categorize it, but it's weird. And to make matters even weirder, a certain something like that similar is going on in my arm. Almost like a miniature heartbeat in there, just kind of jumping around. It's like, gee, Sue, flip. What is going on? Holy mother of wow. Should I be scared? I don't know. News at 11. Rainy day. Whoa. But, the goddess she answered my plea, and she held off the rain till I got home. It's muscle and ligament spasms. Left side is connected to the heart. See a doctor. Okay. Yeah, because I just thought, like that's weird. Because like it's not like really, I don't know, it's more like, huh? Than, oh my God, you know. But you're right. And Chris, he said I think he like gave me Dr. Questel's. I don't know if he tried to give me his number or not, but we have a doctor called Dr. Questel, and he's uh, he's like our main doctor right now. Anything like that that's occurring only on the left side needs medical attention. Okay, you know what? That finally makes sense now. That one of the cards that I got from my self-love deck recently, a couple days ago, was talking about some organ that needed attending to. And I'm like, organ? Okay. What are the organs in the body again? See, there's liver, heart, spleen, uh, kidneys. Yeah, heart. Um, yeah, and especially with the stress levels. I mean, as far as I know, I don't have like high blood pressure. The heart is the second largest organ in the body. Skin is the largest organ. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, so I need to here in the next day or so, because I don't know even how soon Dr. Cuesta would be able to see me. I will cry. I will call and see what his next is available. Um, because I think was that Dr. Questel or was it Dr. Gumina? Okay, like I know Chris has a doctor that's his heart doctor. He his name's Dr. Gumina, and one of the appointments that Chris goes to once in a while is Dr. Gumina to check his heart and how it's doing, and making sure it's functioning right and everything. And Chris has got 2 stents in his heart too, so that's definitely not fun. Um, but yeah, and I've been like getting this weird neck pain in the left side too, but I'm trying not to like panic too much or anything, because then I don't want to escalate whatever it might be, but it could be high blood pressure. I'm sure part of it may have to do with my weight. And that's one of the major reasons why I need to get a hold of Dr. Questel, is to see if he can get me on some kind of, yeah, um, get me on a weight loss program, because at least that might be a good start. And um, I already know that some of what maybe they'll help me to finally be able to do is to unstress more than I've been able to so far, because I never get any time to myself. I have nowhere to go to get time to myself other than filling up the gas tank with money I don't have, and having a Janet day and just go and just do whatever I want to do, whatever strikes my fancy for the day that I can plausibly do. Um, ow. But yeah, I'll call them tomorrow, and as I see, tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll call him tomorrow and say, hey, tell him what's going on. This is concerning me. I'm trying not to freak out. I'm trying to stay calm. But if I do the smart thing, which I'm going to do, and get it taken care of now, then maybe what is potentially could happen will be prevented. Because I don't want to have a stroke. I don't want to have a heart attack, and that's a lot of what scares me about the whole weight thing. Is I know that sometimes when you have a certain degree of obesity, that it can start like making it harder for your heart to function, and like pump properly and stuff. Because with the weight loss program, I'll be able to get a weight loss coach, You have to be very careful. The brain controls the nervous system. Spasms like what you're describing could be a malfunction of that system. Yeah, yeah. The connection to the heart and the brain are why you need to see your doctor. Yep. Um, because I do get a lot of tension headaches, which I think they say is the whole head, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I'll wake up with a headache, and I did suffer a concussion, and I do have neck issues on my right side, and that's a result of the concussion. So, yeah, I need to, you know, poop or get off the pot. And this is me getting off the pot because the cards are telling me, maybe even my dreams in their own way are trying to tell me, you better get your butt in there, and get it checked. Don't play around with this stuff because the minute you think that you're totally invincible to it, that's when it nails you. And that's when it could very quickly potentially become fatal. I don't want to die. I have too much to live for now. Tension headaches can happen in different areas of the head. Neck pain could be indicative of something serious, like a possible aneurysm or seizure of some kind. Yes, yes. And when I suffered the concussion, that has always been a serious health concern of mine. That what other damage did that do to me? Because I almost died. So I guess in that respect, while I was unconscious, you could say that I was probably, yeah, I did have a near death experience. The only thing was, I don't remember floating over my body and looking down and freaking out, but I woke up convulsing, throwing up, shaking, um, scraped up because I was dragged across the gravel parking lot by these pudwhackers that attacked me in the back of my building. Um, I can't remember if I've already talked about that, so I'm trying not to repeat myself, but it was scary. I almost lost a whole year of my life because it was so traumatizing to me. I that I was that close to death. I've never been so scared in my life, but somehow my absolute terror and fear awoke me to the point that I showed no resistance. I did everything they asked me to do, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold and on the ground. It took me an entire year, maybe more, to fully recover from that and not be afraid to ever step outside my door without Chris or somebody else being with me, so that at least maybe they could help me fend off any future attacks. But short version, just to keep from repeating as well, if I would have been smarter that day and not come out my door flashing that bright blue envelope that every druggie and his mama around here knows what that means. Ooh, she's got money. Let's go rob this biatch. And they most certainly did. And they are very lucky that Chris didn't get a hold of them because he would have killed them. He would have completely given into his rage, blacked out. His eyes would have went gray, and yeah, there wouldn't be nothing left of him. He would have literally ripped him apart as if he had superhuman strength and was suddenly a Bigfoot. You know, that kind of strength, because Christ is also losing the nerve functioning in his hands. So a lot of times when he's holding something, he will drop it because he doesn't seem to realize that he's got his hand around it. He don't feel it like he should. That scares me. Um, as far as like hereditary conditions of the health, that any one of my families had. I don't really know of any. Like, are we prone to heart attacks? Are we prone to strokes? Are there things that we need to avoid at all costs, like certain fatty foods and, fatty sodas and pop and sweet coffee, sweet tea, sweet everything. Um, but I try to balance the sweet out with the salt. But too much salt coupled with too much sweet, which is probably a lot of what's going on with me right now and causing all these problems, is because I need to get a handle on it. And I know I do. And quit procrastinating, get off the pot, get yourself into the doctor, because this is your witch stinks going. If you don't, then what happens next is on you. And you can't blame anybody but yourself, because you should have had it taken care of a long time ago and you didn't. And until I can find a way, even after I get myself checked, which I will most definitely, because there have been times when, yeah, I do recall feeling like I had what I would call as a granny seizure, where, like, kind of like I would feel myself convulsing, but it was always so short lived that I didn't really think anything of it. And, or maybe it was, this is a warning. This is our gentle way of saying, get your butt into the doctor and quit putting it off. And once I get things squared away with Dr. Questel, I also need to set up an appointment with my OBGYN, Dr. Roll, because she's the one that did my surgery when I got my hysterectomy. They took out everything but my ovaries, because I didn't want to have to take hormone therapy for the rest of my life. I'm only 52 years old. I'm not in any hurry to leave right now. And what scares me is when I get those times. Yes. Smarten up or we will drop you. And because I take on too much stress. I try to be Mrs. Fix-It. I try to get everybody to get along. I try to continuously keep harmony between those I love and care about, but I spread myself so thin because I want so desperately to help, because my love and compassion for mankind knows no bounds. I am basically what you call an earth angel. I believe we both are. Because, you told me yourself, what happened to you that you actually died? And I was like, oh my God, how did you come back? But thank God you did. Because if you wouldn't have, I would have never met you. And that would have been just heartbreaking, And I'm always putting it out there, give me some other witches to hang with. I need that right now. I need that type of sociality. You've had 2 death experiences? Oh, honey. That's ironic, because so is Chris. He's killed himself twice. And you know why he did it both times? Did it and succeeded? Because I broke up with him. Oh, wow. Man, talk about scary. God, you must have been mortified at the age of 6 to go through that, let alone the age of 17. Holy mother of, oh no. That's just, golly crap. I'm so sorry to hear that, hun, but I can definitely relate, because I think probably a near-death experience for me, now that I think about it, was when I was smoking crack for 9 months. And that's also one of the things that finally spurned me to get out of Marysville. I was beaten to death the second time I attempted suicide. Yeah. So have I. like I said, my form of suicide attempt was taking a handful of a handful of, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They were called Meloril, and they were only 10 milligrams, and they were tiny little, I used to call them my candy covered pot seeds, just to be funny, because they were literally that small. I mean, they were tiny, tiny, tiny. And I took a whole handful of them one time because John Mason's mom made me and him break up. And rather than live without him, I would rather be dead. So I was in a bad place at that time, and I literally took like a whole handful of 10 milligram Melorils. I almost went to sleep and didn't wake back up. What saved me, or rather who, was John himself, because against his better judgment and against his parents' wishes, which never really thought very highly of me, I was in a void and I was just a point of energy. It was very peaceful and I didn't want to come back. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I did either, because look at the world we're living in now. I mean, sister, I don't know about you, but if this ain't hell, I don't know what hell is. I met Yehoshua. He told me everything would be okay. Miraculously, I woke up. Thank Yehoshua for that. Jesus. A lot of people, I don't know how many people rather, know him by Yehoshua, but that's what I prefer to call him because that's what feels right to me. And I'm not Jewish, but I'm not against Jews. I think they're wonderful people. There's some really good Jews out there for sure that have a good disposition. They have good character. They're compassionate. They generally want to help, everybody. They try. Um, I should not have woken up. I took enough pills to drop an elephant. Oh my goddess. Well, the handful that I took, I don't even know how many milligrams. I'm not a Christian. I'm a pagan. Yeah. Me too. I mean, anymore nowadays, I consider myself an eclectic pagan because I embrace all forms of magic, all forms of witchcraft, but I don't do them. Like, I won't do the dark stuff. I'm not that stupid. And I will not work with black energies. I will not work with black spirits. I won't do it because they scare me. Earth magic. Yeah, same here. Same here. Kind of like when me and Chris sit out back, and usually the weather has to be a certain condition before we're both comfortable in doing so. Just to sit out there and hear the nature sounds all around you is like the most beautiful music you've ever heard, and you just don't want it to end. Okay, go ahead. The next time I do a live stream, take a look at my ears. I have elven shaped ears. Wow. Oh, I am jealous. I am jealous to slight points near the tops. Oh, wow. Oh, well, this will make sense then. This vessel is my high elf. So you very well may be an elf. Do you feel like you are? If you were, I feel like you would probably be highly honored and you would be considered an elder. I mean, I'm 52 and I feel like an elder. you know, I mean, there's some days when I just feel like I'm 199. when my high elf, Lyria, showed me a picture of her, it was the very first time, I think it was actually slightly before I got that Creepy Hollows order that she was in. I don't know how much you know about the gray elves or the high elves or whatever. A wood elf, I think. I'm very close to the forest. Yeah, you're a wood elf. I think you are. You, like when you're out walking around, even if it's in a cemetery, and even though I'm this far away from you, I can feel how at peace you are. And that's the kind of peace I like too. Sadly, my ears are just, plain old Jane, not Elven, but um that's awesome. I'm jealous, but I'm happy for you. Chris is a wood elf. He's very close to nature. He's a Virgo. August 27th, 1964 is his birthday. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Cuz I was like, why does she suddenly look different? And she's like, I remember thinking that and feeling that she's really close to the trees. I remember thinking that during one of your live streams, and I was like, she's like fearless. When you went into that one area, you said you felt pulled one of the times you went to St. Mary's or whatever. And what is up with that cross? Man, my husband has actually seen changes take place in my eyes and on my face. Oh, wow. I saw Chris. I saw literally, I only did it once, and I had to see him from my peripheral vision because if I would have physically turned my head and saw it, it might have been too startling. The cross is seriously creepy. Yeah, it's like, huh? Why? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm like, what? Because when you see something that big and beautiful, usually it doesn't instill terror and fear in you to where you're like, whoa, okay, I don't like it here. I'm gonna go now. Jeez. Well, hopefully that will be something I can look forward to sometime. If we meet face to face in the future and we'll be out in the woods, I'd love to see you change. I'd probably start crying. But it would be like, oh my God, it would be happy tears. I don't either. It has really bad juju. Yeah. And see, here's the thing. I will never understand this, and I don't think any of us will. What better ultimate blaspheme against God than to take a beautiful cross like that and turn it evil? Make people get the creep vibe. I ain't going near that thing. Something's wrong. And that's saying something. When I can feel it all the way here, I'm like, guys, you might want to leave there. I'm getting a really bad vibe myself. But just like, look at how many demonic spirits like to inhabit abandoned churches. I saw a YouTube video one time. I don't know if you follow Omar Gosh at all, but I really like the guy. He's pretty cool. He's a Pisces. I tend to speak astrologically. He's a Pisces, and love him to bits. But I have to go now, hun. It's 1 a.m. and my husband finally just walked in the door. Sending you much love and light, my friend. Same to you, hun. Good night. See, I told you he'd get home safe. Yeah, I think I'm going to get my butt to bed too because it's after 3 here. So thanks for hanging out, hun. Enjoyed it as always. Blessed be and all that. Happy Mabon belated. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.